I realized I muted. Hello, welcome everybody to the show. We have a ton to talk about, mainly because Comic-Con's first day was yesterday, I believe, or like it's coming up. So we're gonna be talking about a lot of that, a lot of trailers today. So sit back, have a drink, and enjoy our, news in regards to that. But in addition to that, we have box office report. We got some more Odyssey stuff to talk about because they just keep breaking records. But hey, it's all fake, and they're paying Universal's paying for seats, so to inflate the box office because people are dumb. As well as another box office milestone for Toy Story 5 because that's still kicking, babies, and so. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about MCU Weekly, mainly Daredevil, Born Again, and Avengers Doomsday talk, and then quite a bit of movie talk madness. As I mentioned, a lot of Comic-Con stuff. We got trailers for Resident Evil, Coyote vs. Acme, Ebenezer, Wolverine, as well as first looks for Percy Jackson and an upcoming Blade Runner project. And then a little bit about the merger stuff happening, so that's pretty cool. Then we have our quick hits. People love the quick hits, so we gotta include the quick hits. And then on top of that, we have DCU Daily. Perfect. We're gonna get into it, guys. We're gonna really get into it because we have a lot of quick hits. We have quite a bit of Clayface, Tom Rees-Harris, and James Watkins made an appearance at Comic-Con, so we're going to talk about that, as well as lanterns. A lot of stuff in regards to lanterns at Comic-Con and showing off and people being excited for some reason. So let's not go into it too long and just properly just head on through.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. Number two.
All right, mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding. You're kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. You're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What the
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh boy. Here we are. Here we are again. Welcome, one and all, to DCU Daily. I'm your host, Sean. Dan is a little busy right now, so we're going to start without him, but that's okay. I'm here, and that's enough, right? Maybe? Probably not. Anyway, welcome, Monique. Thank you for... that sounds delicious. I'm not really a soup guy, but I would eat that. That does sound good. Caleb... causing distress in the chat like always. Figure drawing is there, fucking poking the bear because sure, why not? Although figure drawing is asking me a question, valid question, if you could choose between covering Doomsday for 4 more months versus not covering yet watching the actual movie, which would you choose? Well, considering that the former is what I'm actually going to do, that one, so that's what is actually going to happen. So I'm picking that one. Anyway, enterprising, hello. All right, figure drawing, why are you being such a fucking asshole, right? Jesus Christ. Anyway, Jalen, hello. No sexy Millie Alcock today, but that's okay. We do get a one picture of her in the Supergirl suit, so hopefully that's enough for you to go 5 or 6 times. Anyway, but thank you, Johnny Rico. Talking about that, we're gonna get into that soon. And then who else is there? D Cole, hello. But I passed the test. Yeah, go me. Damn it, I want my million. I'm sure you can fucking find a website like deep fake that shit. So if you really want to, then by all means go figure that out, buddy. Anyway, let's get into the news proper, because the first thing is Odyssey for a box office report, because the Odyssey continues to cut box office swath with $18 million on Wednesday, second best for Christopher Nolan. And with that, I'm gonna get my ice cream and I'm gonna cheers Mr. Nolan on a high success. I'm gonna be eating throughout the show, so get used to it. Hopefully my ice cream doesn't melt. Anyway, but with that, this is awesome. Apparently, it is the second best for Nolan after Dark Knight, because of course it is. And you know, it's down just 16% from its $21.4 million Tuesday. And it's raking up, even with like the scalpers that are like stealing tickets and shit like that. They're still paying for it, so like it's still making money. Yeah, pretty much. That's why I'm pretty much mainly excited for the upcoming Blade Runner 2099 show, because it has Hunter Schafer in it, and I know that all the nut jobs are gonna be like annoying about it. So I'll be like, "Hey, get fucked, losers." W Odyssey, very much so. Yeah, you are right about that. Don't worry. Maybe, I mean, she's doing a Takashi Miike movie next, and Takashi Miike is like batshit insane, so maybe there will be something in that movie that for you to enjoy. But next, Swack fan, hello, been a while, buddy. Lovely to see you. But yeah, the Odyssey, absolutely killing it. Love it. Not much to say about that, but we will have to see what it was for yesterday. Well, to be fair, yesterday on the East Coast, because we did start very late today, but as well as what the Friday and the upcoming weekend will hold. Then, as I mentioned before, Toy Story 5 has apparently beat Toy Story 4's entire domestic $434 million run, and officially becomes the highest grossing Toy Story film and 8th highest grossing animation film of all time at the US box office. The animation grossed a spectacular $3.1 million on Fifth Tuesday discount day, with insane legs. Not as insane as Millie Alcock's, but you know, that's okay. Just a 21.1% drop from last Tuesday, despite having lost another 175 theaters last Friday, and insane competition, obviously. Odyssey, and, you know, in terms of similar programming with Minions and Monsters. So it hits 434.6 cum domestically, beating that whole run. It is eyeing a $470 to $500 million run in the US. I believe, hang on, in terms of the worldwide gross, it is not quite at $1 billion yet. It is worldwide. It is at $964.3 million. So it's close, but it's not quite there. So congrats to Toy Story 5. I still have no intention of seeing it. I'm happy. I am very happy the Odyssey is doing well, and very much W Toy Story, which makes it weird that Pixar is laying them off, but we'll get to that soon enough. Exactly. 100% figure drawing. 100%. But with that, that's kind of it for box office report. Not a ton, but that's okay. Now we are on to MCU Weekly, and there's a little bit more in regards to that. The first thing is Daredevil, because who doesn't want to see more Daredevil? Especially if he's shirt like this, like that, like, ooh, shirtless with that cross crucifix necklace. That's pretty damn good. So apparently here, God, that's good. We get a first look at Daredevil's prison costume, what it means for season 3 explained. Daredevil Born Again season 3 premieres on Disney Plus next year, and as we first reported earlier today, Matt Murdock's prison costume has been revealed thanks to crew gifts handed out to mark the end of principal photography. That may offer a better idea of what to expect from the series when it returns, especially after a season 2 cliffhanger that saw Wilson Fisk exiled from New York and the Man Without Fear in prison after revealing his secret identity to the world. The first time Matt ended up in prison, He attempted to remain largely incognito while trying to convince the world he wasn't Daredevil. However, the second time it was Daredevil who went to prison, and in addition to an orange prison jumpsuit, he donned an orange mask to protect his identity. That's clearly what this promo art, which is what I'll get to in a minute, is referencing. Though this time, the Man Without Fear may be using his shirt as a makeshift mask. Based on the stab wounds and his bloodied hands, Matt is clearly fighting for his life. So I'm gonna click on this. And this is what we saw of the rap party gift. So, yeah, I think this looks pretty cool. I mean, more reason to see Charlie Cox muscles. I think that's pretty damn good. Look at those beautiful muscles. And he has his, arm, like forearm, like gauntlet kind of things. I don't know what to call those. The hand wraps. Thank you, Gabriel. I don't know who you are, but hand wraps. Good. They're like kind of like gauntlets. So, yeah. Cool, great, awesome. Love to see it. I'm going to eventually watch it. I'm gonna finish stuff. I have a lot on my plate right now. I'm getting ready to. I'm making another video. Well, I mean, to be fair, Matt Murdock is usually a redhead in the comics, so it makes sense that he has a lighter beard, and usually lighter hair color. So I think, yeah, I think that's what they're trying to go for here. But yeah, looks really cool. But in terms of that's the only like non-major big, story we have. I couldn't think of the word. Because now it's pretty much the rest is Avengers Doomsday and a little bit of Spider-Man. But not too much, but a little bit. But apparently, Avengers Doomsday rumor points to 2 major characters dying off screen. Again, this is spoilers. It's probably bullshit, but just letting you know right now. There you go. From what we can gather, based on a recent plot leak, at least some of which is believed to be accurate, that circulated online, a lot of characters will die in Doomsday. Duh. Apparently, the heroes who do meet their end will ultimately be resurrected for the final battle against Doctor Doom and his forces in Secret Wars, because Battleworld. Now we're hearing that 2 characters we haven't seen since the Marvels will be killed off, and we won't even get to see it. When we last saw Monica Rambeau, she had woken up in a medical lab after getting trapped in an alternate reality following her battle with Dar-Ben. There, she met a variant of her late mother, Maria Lashana Lynch, who had taken up the mantle of this universe's binary. According to this rumor, Monica Rambeau and her mother are allegedly set to die together after thwarting some off-screen incursions. I mean, I'd believe that. It does kind of make sense. But it's the whole thing is like, oh, that's that post-credit scene is setting shit up because the X-Men are going to be part of Doomsday. So the fact it's not going to be a direct like segue into that movie is a little weird, but it also makes sense because there's already so many fucking characters, and I assume, and according to like the leaks that were, I think, proven to be true, that the X-Men, the Fox X-Men, have been fighting off incursions for like years. So they are so that would make sense that if they are on that world of like essentially Fox X-Men but not really Fox X-Men, then that would mean then that would mean, yeah, that makes sense that they, got killed off screen. But I mean, they already, considering that this movie already has so many characters, and I mean, no offense to Teyonah Parris and Lashana Lynch, they're perfectly fine actresses, but considering they're not exactly popular, I think it would make sense that, yeah, let's just designate these guys to an off-screen death rather than, oh, we are going to we're going to include them in this movie, because like people want to see like the Avengers, they want to see Fantastic Four, they want to see that, they want to see the Fox X-Men, they don't really care about like Captain Marvel. Also, hi fucky. Spoilers will die off screen, yes. But yeah, so that makes sense to me, but yeah, we don't know if it's like actually true or not, but it would make sense. Rumor Avengers Doomsday has added these A-list superheroes to the movie's final battle. According to My Time to Shine, they are reporting that the final battle will see a very much alive Loki recruit Moon Knight, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, Cassie Lang, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, Halle Berry's Storm, Daphne Keene's X-23, and more to take the fight to Doctor Doom. We've previously heard that the fight takes place in Latveria, suggesting Doom will unleash an army of Doombots against the multiverse's mightiest heroes. Sorry. But yeah, so obviously take it with a grain of salt. My Time to Shine is not very reliable in terms of a scooper, so we'll just kind of have to wait and see. Yeah, with all things considering. But considering that Tom Holland hasn't been confirmed, I mean considering they were filming close together, he probably could have done like a quick thing for Doomsday. So I'd believe it. With that, I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not. So take it with a grain of salt. But considering that, I think the best case scenario for this is that some of these people will appear. Like, going through the list, Moon Knight, I don't believe that for a second. They're not putting Moon Knight in this movie. Like, he's too small a character. The miniseries was, well liked, but it wasn't like this huge thing. I don't think Moon Knight would appear in the final battle for fucking Doomsday. Like, that's just, he's too small a character. Tom Holland Spider-Man, I believe they were filming it around the same time, Brand New Day and Doomsday, so makes sense that Tom Holland Spider-Man would be included. Star-Lord, I could see. I mean, it did say he was coming back in Avengers 5, so I believe that. Miss Marvel, I could see, because, Miss Marvel, I could definitely see, but that's kind of up in the air. Kate Bishop, I don't see. Cassie Lang was in the fucking trailer, so I'm willing to bet she's there. Spider-Man has been part of the rumor mill for a while. So, I don't think he's coming back. I don't think he wants to come back. He did it for Spider-Man No Way Home. That's a Spider-Man related thing. I don't think he would want to come back for Avengers, but I could be wrong. I just don't see that. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, I'd believe it. Storm, I think Halle Berry said multiple times she's not, but hey, so did Andrew Garfield in regards to No Way Home, so it's possible. X-23, I could see her coming back, and then there's others that are not stated here. So, yeah, I could see the ones I definitely don't see are Moon Knight and Kate Bishop. Those are the ones that are like definite no's, because nobody really cares about Moon Knight, and Kate Bishop has a fucking bow and arrow. What the fuck is she gonna do? Sure, I guess. Yeah, spectacle. But spectacle movies could be good. Just look at the Odyssey. So, yeah, I could definitely see that that's the case, but I don't see Moon Knight and Kate Bishop being a part of this. But in terms of San Diego Comic-Con, Spider-Man Brand New Day web-swinging extended clip, second Avengers Doomsday Latvian Witch revealed, because that's what we fucking care about. With this year's San Diego Comic-Con's full swing, it's shaping up to be a busy weekend here on comicbookmovie.com. As the writer's composer Michael Giacchino has just wrapped up the Anatomy of a Superhero Movie panel, and he brought some goodies with him. For starters, he revealed an extended clip from Spider-Man Brand New Day, featuring Tom Holland's Peter Parker swinging through New York City. I did see this clip. A friend of mine shared it with me, and it is very cool. Imagine, if you have not seen this clip, it is essentially the Amazing Spider-Man 2 opening scene on crack. That is essentially, in a good way and a bad way. That's the best. Yeah, Hawkeye will save the Avengers, yes. But yeah, so it's definitely an interesting scene. I think it's a bit much with how it's filmed, but it's definitely the most exciting swing we've gotten for Spider-Man. The end of No Way Home was good, but this is holy shit. Yeah, and it's pretty awesome. I think it does a bit much because there's a lot of it's a lot of effects heavy stuff that I don't think is necessary, but it's definitely, as I said, I'm pretty sure Dan would like this, where it's essentially the Amazing Spider-Man 2 opening scene on drugs. It's fucking insane. I didn't watch the whole clip, but I watched the majority of it, and it's definitely cool. So I'm not gonna click on it because you know, I don't want to, you know, get this demonetized. But you know, the classic web swing action was absent from the previous trilogy right up until the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. We also got a closer look at some of the highly touted POV shots and follow Spidey through the city as he swings into the midst of a tank chase. Giacchino's music plays throughout, and he returned to the franchise after previously scoring all three Spider-Man films. With that, Michael's son Mick, who was also at the panel to discuss his work on the upcoming Vision Quest TV series. The conclusion to the WandaVision trilogy premieres on October 14th, and the show's theme has now been revealed in full. Obviously, we can't show it here. We're expecting Marvel Studios to drop a trailer for the Agatha All Along follow-up on Saturday, though that hinges on what Kevin Feige plans to showcase in Hall H. Meanwhile, Avengers Doomsday display on the show floor has been updated, switching out the Latvian magician wearing green for another clad in yellow. We've already shared our theories for who could be under that first mask, and we'll get to that soon. And any one of them could be beneath this one too. Marvel Studios is clearly teasing something here, and we can't help but wonder whether their identities will be revealed on Saturday. After all, bringing Dr. Doom out only to unmask him as Robert Downey Jr. stole the show in San Diego 2 years ago, and the same would be true here if, say, Elizabeth Olsen is one of those mysterious witches. As of now, we won't know much of a spoiler. Unmasking them would be for Avengers Doomsday. So, yeah, I don't think really anybody cares about that. But that Spider-Man scene, very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Big swinging dicks, right? Also, High King Sparkle. So now we go on to what they were saying here about the Latvian witch. So this is what we have. First look. So it seems like it went from green to yellow, or is it like a different one? Hang on a sec. So the Latvian witch costume has been changed out overnight at the Marvel booth. Now, here's the thing. This is giving me. Hold on. Hang on. This is giving me vibes of the Ancient One, like the Tilda Swinton Ancient One, because she was mainly in yellow. So that's kind of giving me this vibe. So I could definitely see like the Ancient One being like taken by Doctor Doom and like hypnotized or something. That would be cool. I don't know if it's intended to be the same character, like it goes from green to yellow, or it's two different characters. But the yellow is okay. I'm not crazy. I would like that was like the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, definitely Ancient One. So I'm like, but considering the Ancient One's a pretty controversial character, at least the adaptation that was used in Doctor Strange, I could see them not using that. But obviously, we'll see. We'll see. But Reverse secretive videotaping. What do you think of people watching X Media and College viewing stuff on a headset that could super stifle secret filming? I don't know what you're trying to ask. What are you trying to ask? Viewing stuff on a headset that could super stifle secret filming. I don't know. Like people filming stuff, that's inevitably going to happen, but they should, and no, they can't like take everybody's phones. So like, I don't think anything major is going to happen there. But with that, so this is the original costume before it got changed out with the yellow one. The likelihoods is Scarlet Witch, Clea, Sylvie, Peggy Carter. No, definitely not Peggy Carter. I could see Sylvie because green, that makes sense. You know, like it shows the power of Doctor Doom, that his like witch like coven is actually like all these really powerful sorceresses. And like he's so powerful he gets them under his will. Like, and getting someone like Sylvie, aka Loki, from a different fucking universe, that would be pretty damn cool. No, we did not. But Sylvie, I could see. Clea, no, because she's in purple. And not Scarlet Witch. Here's the thing. Considering that she's in green, and that is very Doctor Doom, so that Doctor Doom-esque, So that's maybe just Doctor Doom covered it. But the fact that the yellow, that changed it out for yellow, the yellow seems like very ancient one to me. This could mean, oh, it's just Doom is green, she's green. There we go. It's not easy being green. Thank you, Enterprising. With that, out of all of these, I think the color codes mean something. So since it's green, I'm gonna say Sylvie because Loki is usually clad in green. I think that means something. And then the yellow means that maybe the ancient one also is part of that coven. So yeah, I with that, we move on to movie talk madness. We have a little like one major movie talk madness. Let's get the spoiler alert out of there. But yeah, I'm gonna go there. That's a really good ice cream. With that, the biggest one outside of Comic-Con is apparently Atari has made a deal with Universal for 10 iconic game properties to be adapted onto film. First up is original script by Matt Riley and Carl Hamp, with Entertainment 360 producing. So with that, they want to develop 10 classic Atari video game properties for the big screen. Universal has bought the first project from the new partnership, a feature film based on Atari IP, which will be produced by Entertainment 360's Guyman Cassidy from a screenplay by Riley and Hamp, both of them also producers. For more than 5 decades, Atari has created games and worlds that have remained part of pop culture long after their original release. We are excited to work with Universal and Entertainment 360 to bring the spirit of our iconic brand and games to a new medium. So apparently the 5 are Asteroids, Adventure, Berserk, Breakout, Centipede, Crystal Castles, Millipede, Missile Command, Pong, and Yar's Revenge. And the aim is to use the IP to create big-scale action-adventure fare. The Catalyst was an original spec by Riley, the longtime studio exec at Universal, who pivoted to screenwriting and producing, and Hamp, a producer on Hellboy, who also worked on The Jungle Cruise as well as other films. So they're like, and then they're like, oh, we grew up with Atari games. This is great. This is cool. We're gonna build like a large-scale action adventure. But yeah, this is weird to me and kind of funny. Yar's Revenge, Pong movie directed by Martin Scorsese. When none of those. I mean, I'm on the fence because I'm like, there are Asteroids could be something. Adventure definitely has like more of a story. But like, how the fuck do you make a Centipede movie? How in God's name do you make a fucking Pong movie? Is it just gonna be 2 guys playing tennis the entire time? Name a bigger game than Yar's Revenge. Oh wait, maybe some exactly. How the fuck do you make a movie out of Pong? Like the only way I could see them doing that is like if they pull a Tetris where it's like about the making of Pong, which is probably an interesting story, but Timothy Chalamet in Pong as the creator, John Pong. Anyway, Space Invaders does have potential, but I don't think that's one of them. Will they be live action or animated movies? I think they're live action. Yeah. Diva said they're live action. So some of them are good ideas, but like, how the fuck do you make a Breakout movie? Like, it's just like it's a guy hitting a thing. It's like one-sided Pong. That like at least with like Yar's Revenge, Adventure, maybe kind of sort of Asteroids, maybe kind of sort of Missile Command, you could probably make stories around those. But like, how the fuck do you make a Centipede movie? I feel like this is either gonna be really fucking good, or it's gonna be like Pixels, and there's no in between. Where's my chest movie, you cowards? Pretty much. Like, this is just so bizarre to me. But like, I'm curious to see if they can make this shit work. You know, I think it's funny. It's funny, but we'll see how that plays out. I'm willing to bet like half of those are not going to get made, and like it's just going to be whatever. But anyway, now on to San Diego Comic-Con news. The first of which, I am pumped. I am pumped. Resident Evil, baby. We just got a new trailer earlier yesterday, and Zach Krieger has shown more of his take on the iconic video game franchise, and peak. Like, I was actually a little worried because my friend shared this. He's like, "Oh, this looks like garbage. This is gonna be ass. This is gonna be terrible." And I'm like, "Oh no, what did they show?" And then I watched. I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? This looks fucking peak." What do you mean? Like, I mean, the only thing is like Austin Abrams is like a little annoying, but like he's just a guy. He's just a guy. Like that's the whole basis of this version of the story is that he's a guy. He's just a regular dude who gets caught up, who's forced to become like a Leon Kennedy-esque or a Chris Redfield-esque character. So, and my friends like, "Oh, why can't they just fucking adapt the movie?" I'm like, or adapt the game. It's like, they tried that. It was called Welcome to Raccoon City, and it sucked ass. So, like, exactly, it looks creepy as hell. The Resident Evil movie is about 1000% better than. I mean, calm down, figure drawing. It's just a trailer, so we'll see. Maybe it could be cheeks. We don't know. But all right, Caleb. Okay. Yeah, definitely a really cool trailer. Well, the Monopoly show is like a reality show, so like that doesn't really work. Honestly, Mousetrap. I'd watch a Mousetrap movie. Just rewatch Tom and Jerry. Yeah, he's an NPC. Exactly. He's the whole basis of he's just some random dude. It's like, because here's the thing. No matter what they do, Resident Evil fans are not going to be happy. You can adapt the game perfectly. And it'll be like, "Well, why'd you just adapt the game? I could just go play the game, bro. Why are you adapting it?" If you adapt the game, but like not perfectly, it's like, "Why'd you make these changes, bro? What the fuck is wrong with you?" And then you have this, which is essentially in the world of the game, but in a modern context. It's like, "Why didn't you just adapt the game, bro?" It's like, you know what? Just shut the fuck up, bro. We're getting a great movie. If it perfectly adapts it, whatever. If it doesn't, I don't give a shit. Zach Krieger has been 2 for 2 with Barbarian and Weapons. Literally, bro made an Oscar fucking winning movie last year. So I'm ready for it. I love Austin Abrams. I think he was phenomenal in Weapons. Definitely one of the best parts of that movie. Yeah, it's technically in its own continuity because it's essentially Resident Evil 2, but it takes place in modern day. That's essentially what it is. It's just Resident Evil 2, but it takes place in modern day. And so you have this guy. It's like you can see this as a part of the game, but at the same time, it's, yeah, it's a tough watch. But the thing is, they did try to adapt the game. It was Welcome to Raccoon City. That was an adaptation of Resident Evil 1 and 2. And it was hated. And then there was the TV show that I think kind of sort of adapted like one of the later games, and that was terrible. So it's just like, guys, like no matter what they do with this fucking franchise, nobody's gonna be happy. Like Silent Hill, yeah, that got a re-examination, but like most people still don't like that movie. And then Return to Silent Hill was really bad, apparently. So, um, exactly, 100%. I trust him. I trust him. I'm glad you love it. That's great. Good trailer, very creepy. Looking for those shotgun shells is just what you do in the game. I love it. Exactly. It's what you do in the game. Fine then. They should make Candyland. I agree. But yeah, you should trust Ecker. Yeah, exactly. I think it'll be just as peak as the games, and it'll be a great time. Too bad you won't get to pause the zombie. Well, you get your inventory organized. Yeah. Just watch Mouse Hunt. Yeah, Mouse Hunt's fun. Definitely a fun movie. It's basically a ham sandwich in a dream. That is true. And then they got Beck from fucking Victorious to play fucking Leon Kennedy, and apparently he was a bitch. Other mom is October same. Yeah, very cool. I mean, horror season. So yeah, I'm excited for this. It's coming out in September. The new trailer was awesome. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a ton of fun. Um, I really really enjoyed it. I really liked Austin Abrams. I like how he's like, "Hey, I got a kidney here. Does anybody need a kidney?" And it's great. So, yeah, and then I love how he just like, is just kind of gonna grow into being like a badass, and I really appreciate that. So, um, yeah, I think that's really really cool. So I'm stoked for it. Question: What in the game in Resident Evil they adapt, or is this on? So okay, so essentially, what this is, what Zach Krieger explained it as, it's an original story, entirely original story, but it takes place in the Resident Evil world if Resident Evil was in modern day. Because as we all know, the Resident Evil games, they take place the original ones, they take place in the late 90s, essentially when the games were coming out. So then present day. But this one, the background of it is essentially Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2, that's where they introduced Leon Kennedy. That's where they have one of the other viruses, not the zombie virus, but the mutated people virus. Like it deals with more mutation stuff. It's essentially, it takes place, as Caleb said, it takes place in an alternate universe that is essentially like it's essentially Resident Evil but modern day. That's essentially what it is. And the background is Resident Evil 2, but in modern day. That's essentially what it is. So I'm stoked for that. I think it's really cool. Yeah, there were smartphones back then. I wish she could have like done like an actual like, oh, it takes place in the 90s, but maybe there's a couple things that he wanted to try and make work here. But yeah, Resident Evil, I'm stoked. Let's keep this positive gravy train going with Coyote versus Acme. We got a second trailer for the long awaited movie that was canceled, written as a tax write-off, despite being fully done. Zaslav and Warner Brothers wrote it off. Yes, thank you, Caleb. The G and T viruses. Yes, I thought it was the T virus. I didn't know the other one, but yes, thank you. So, Coyote versus Acme. We're finally getting it after so long. It's one of my most anticipated of the year, and it's brilliant. I loved it. What was Zaslav thinking? He was thinking he could make a quick buck. But yeah, this was with this we are getting more footage here, which is essentially of, the Coyote, Wile E. Coyote, dealing with for so many years, just he wants that goddamn bird, and no matter what happens, the Acme products keep failing, and so he hears Will Forte's lawyer on TV, and he's like, cool, I'm gonna sue Coyote versus Acme. They try to settle it, but he's like, nope, I want to sue you guys, fuck you. John Cena plays the sleazy Acme lawyer. Is Foghorn Leghorn gonna be racist? I don't think so. Yeah. Coyote versus Acme. It just, and then it kind of goes on from there, and how, it's essentially Saul Goodman protecting Wile E. Coyote from John Cena. And honestly, I'm here for it. Dan, well, you missed Resident Evil, but that's good because you're not really a horror guy, so that makes sense. But Coyote versus Acme, you love John Cena like everyone else does. You like Looney Tunes, I assume. What were your thoughts on the Coyote versus Acme trailer? Are you pumped? Are you pumped for it, or are you worried?
I have a question for you, actually, John. Did you see tit and did you see tat? That's the question.
Yeah,
that's the question.
That's what I'm saying.
Two questions. Actually.
Yeah,
those are the two questions.
You thought? Yeah, I don't pay you to thought. I pay you to thought. I did. That was like amazing. I fucking love
you
that
tit
so much.
and what you tit or what you taught. I'm like, I am here for it. If they gave me a full movie of that scene, I will watch that. Hello, Billock. How are you doing in the chat? And hello, Swag Fan. Yeah. So no, it's my favorite part of the trailer was the countdown timer at the end. That's the countdown timer I want.
Yeah,
So
I couldn't give a fuck about Doomsday. Give me the countdown timer for Coyote versus Acme. That's what I want
and
to
the
fucking see,
and the
baby.
good thing is it's only like 30 something days away. You know, it's way closer than Doomsday. Like we don't gotta
Yeah,
sit here for another 5 months. Yeah,
hell
this
yeah,
is
bro.
it's so good. It's so I if you guys haven't seen this trailer, highly recommend it.
Yeah,
It's
it
I feel like
definitely.
John Cena's perfect for this role.
John Cena
Yeah.
is just like he's so good at like just being contrary to what he is, and he's just playing a good like ruthless dickhead, and he's like, it's great. It's just so great. It's just
But it's
Will
like the
Forte is
deadpan comedy.
hilarious. John
Yeah.
Cena's hilarious. All the people voicing the Looney Tunes are hilarious.
Yeah.
Lana Condor is great. She's always great, but yeah, this is God. We might just get like the perfect trilogy of Looney Tunes hybrid movies. We got Space Jam, which rocked the world. Hasn't really aged well, but a lot of people love the original Space Jam. We don't talk
Hey,
about the
I
other
do.
one. Then we
It's good.
have Looney Tunes Back in Action, which is criminally fucking underrated. I remember watching
Yeah.
that as a kid and I fucking loved it. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it since,
I
but
remember
damn,
too.
I need to rewatch that. But
No, it is underrated. It's very
and then
yeah.
now we're getting this because this might be a peak trilogy right here because this
Yeah.
it has heart, and the fact that like it
It's
actually kind of got me emotional a little bit, like because when like Will Forte was explaining Wile E. Coyote, he's like he's a man who doesn't quit. He'll do anything, and I think that's something we should strive to be, which obviously is a wink and a nod to what
it's
happened in real
yeah.
life. Ironically,
Mhm.
getting locked into a vault somewhere only for enough fan backlash to be like, hey, no, we want to see this, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely it like, and I love stories about perseverance, human perseverance. Like it always like gets me kind of emotional. So like finally seeing this movie, and then it like acknowledging the fact that like, hey, the fans made this happen is really cool. It's really cool.
I think this will make more money than the Tom and Jerry movie did with Ketchup Entertainment last year. So I think this, and honestly, yeah, they ask in the article here, what was David Zaslav thinking? I mean, this is
Money.
nobody's gonna get
Caleb
everything
already
right,
answered that.
but
Money.
they should have released this film. I mean, they took the 50 million from Ketchup to do this, but this movie should have they should have put this out sooner. It's just I could totally see how whoever the producer behind this movie was like John Cena and Bumblebee would be perfect for whatever role we got. Like him here, the lawyer, deadpan, comedy. The timing is excellent. Will for the scene where he gets the check and then Wile E. Coyote tears it up. I was like, okay, like I could watch this because like, dude, like we used to get movies like this back in the day, and now we don't get these kind of movies where, like, I know we still get movies where you can just turn your brain off and just go watch a movie and have fun, but I feel like this has a flavor of the 90s and the early 2000s because we don't get hybrid comedy where you got 2D comedy, you got 2D characters from those cartoons interacting with your live action. It gives me the right feels, and John Cena feels like the perfect pick. I mean, it's I was laughing so hard at the end. Do you see tit? Do you see tat? I was like, okay, sold. Like now I need to get my advance tickets to this movie, so I can't wait. August 28th, I'll be there. August 27th, I'll be there. I'll camp out overnight if I have to. It's not that anybody needs me to.
I will say the day the earth blew
Yeah.
up was definitely that was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. That was like classic Looney Tunes, and it was
Mhm.
brilliant. I love that.
What's the one where he's like, I'm here for that pantless model scene or so, modeling gig or something like that. I'm just like I want, because I grew up on the Looney Tunes. I want all of that. I want that physical comedy. I want all of those references.
I mean, it was written by James Gunn, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Well, I mean, the story
Or
was. I don't think he
wrote
wrote
the
the
story,
script,
yeah.
but he did write the story.
Coyote has had enough. Yeah, I know.
But
the meta
Yeah.
nature of the movie itself then ties into the meta nature of like the release and you know, the whole process of getting this out in the world. I think the marketing for this is about as perfect as they could have possibly. They were like, the marketing campaign writes itself. Between this and the new Spaceballs movie, I think we're gonna get two amazing marketing campaigns this year. I can't wait to see more of those. Like, I think we're gonna get more Spaceballs stuff this week as well before the.
Yeah, I
before
believe
the
we're
game
getting more
premiere,
stuff
so,
at
yeah.
yeah. But
Just give
let's
us all
try to
the-
keep the trailer
the stuff.
train going, because now we have Ebenezer, which is Ty West's upcoming adaptation of A Christmas Carol, and it's
It's
a
fun.
movie.
No, I thought it was fun. It was unexpectedly
So okay,
funny
so
for
here's the
me.
thing. Here's what I was kind of expecting with this.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying this is a bad thing. It's just like it's not what I expected. Like I didn't expect them to go
Same.
full blown comedy with it. This is
No,
it's a
not
comedy
at all.
movie. Like this is
I thought this was
not.
gonna be drama. I thought this was gonna be like a dark character study. Like I thought this was gonna be like
It
that
seems like
French
that
movie he
Robert
did.
Eggers is going to do that because Robert Eggers has an upcoming
Yes.
Christmas Carol adaptation. So
Right.
we're going to get that with him. But with this, it's like no,
This is Johnny
this
Depp.
is Johnny Depp at his most Jack Sparrow
Yes.
since
Yep.
part 5. So
Yeah.
you know,
Jackson,
and
they've pointed out in the movie, it's like Jack Sparrow, like 5. They don't mention Willy Wonka, but they mention like 5 other, or like the Mad Hatter.
they
like, they mention that, I'm like, yeah.
the mutant misfit has returned or whatever the fuck.
Yes, yeah. I'm like,
So
yes.
yeah,
Welcome
it's
back, Johnny Depp.
definitely yeah, he is a geezer. That's kind of the point. But yeah, I think,
and again, the whole meta nature of it is good to be back. Like he said that when he showed up at Comic-Con in Hall H today.
Yeah. He showed
to
up in
talk
full
about this
makeup and
announcement, yeah.
garb, and he's like, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
The hierarchy of power at Hall H changed. Because remember when Black Adam did that, like the year the movie was anyway.
yeah,
Go ahead.
so I think this looks interesting. I'm mixed feelings. I would have loved to have seen Johnny Depp in something more serious because the thing is, I think Johnny Depp can act. Like he's a great actor.
Mhm.
It's just like it's a shame he just keeps doing Jack Sparrow again and again, which is a little sad, but like at the same time,
this
I don't
didn't-
mind it. It's still fun.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It's not the same stick, like same shtick. He's
No, but
doing
it's like
something
kind of,
different,
he's in
like-
makeup, he's acting goofy, like, that's kind of the thing. When
But I
I
feel
remember
like this
what was that
is-
movie about Whitey Bulger, Black Mass. Like everyone's
Oh,
like, "Oh
yeah.
shit. Yeah, we forgot Johnny Depp can act. Holy fuck." That was like how Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. Oh shit. He's not just Tony Stark. He's actually a really great actor. And so people were like, "Oh yeah, he can actually
'cause
do this."
nobody
thing." So
went
I
to
was
see The Judge.
hoping that Ebenezer was going to be that for Johnny Depp. But even
Yeah.
then, I see the scene where he gets sucked through the bed, which is a nod and a wink to his death in Nightmare on Elm Street. So I'm like,
Uh-huh.
all right, you got me. You got me. I'm going to watch this.
Like no,
Um,
it's you know what it is. It's like it's for the fans of Johnny Depp that have wanted to see him back in Hollywood. I think this feels like a return
Yeah.
to like. And again, forget all the beyond the move, like beyond the world of the movies controversies around like whatever, all the stuff that happened. I'm like, look, Johnny Depp made a career out of playing these characters where he knows how to ham it up and people love it because there's the thing. Look, comedic acting is also a talent. It's very underrated because you could give 5 other actors the same job and like for example, you do this with Ryan Reynolds and it's gonna feel the most insincere Ryan Reynolds playing himself kind of bullshit. Even Will Ferrell like has his own style of comedy. Like it's comedy we look at it and I think sometimes we don't appreciate that. Yes, Johnny Depp is a great dramatic actor, but also he's a great comedic actor. And great comedic acting, like we just talked about John Cena and Coyote versus Acme, like the great ones make it look easy and seamless, but believe me, it's not easy to make people laugh, especially over the course of a movie. And when you're doing this, like the look of the movie doesn't feel like it's super, cartoony. It's so you need to have a certain level of believability and grounding and verisimilitude is the word. Like it needs to belong in the world, so he can't ham it up to the that's where even the Pirates movies, when he just like they basically made the movie revolve around his character, is when those movies were weak. It was when he was one of the starring parts of an ensemble cast is when the Pirates movies were great, because he wasn't the only show in town. So I think for this movie, like this first trailer makes exactly the kind of impression that again, you and I both did not think this was gonna be a comedic kind of a film, but I was pleasantly surprised. So I am really looking forward to it now.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
think it
didn't think this
looks
movie was needed. I'm like, do we need the 10th like different version of Christmas Carol? Like we've got
10th.
like
We're like
I know,
10,000.
I'm just like, we have seen, and not only that, like we have seen the live action, we've seen the animated, we have seen like the motion capture live action, we've seen like the 2D, the 3D animation, we have seen it
We've
done
seen
like
with
5
Muppets.
different
We've seen with this. We've
Muppets.
seen with that.
So it's like, how do you do it different? What is, because I was worried that this would feel like, oh, we're just rehashing something we have seen 20,000 times. So I appreciate, like, genuinely, I think this is the movie that they probably knew they needed a Johnny Depp to carry it, and clearly it's been built around that. So I hope the rest of the movie fills out. Well, Daisy Ridley's in the film. I didn't realize that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
She needs
I
to come
enjoyed
back,
this trailer.
honestly, too. Like, after, you know, she got popular because of Star Wars, but then also Star Wars kind of tanked her career. I hope she can, you know, come
Her
up with
Star Wars
something good,
movie is kind of in limbo now too, like whatever that movie she was gonna be a part of. So like, yeah, this is good. Yeah, I can't wait. Again, between Coyote and these are movies that are coming out in like what the later half of the summer months and post summer fall months, and I was a little concerned that there will be another drought, and I feel like now with Coyote and Ebenezer, there's stuff we can go see. Obviously, you got Resident Evil and stuff too, but and you know, Coyote versus Acme, and then now this being somewhat more of a family friendly film based on the trailer at least. I'm not like, oh, this isn't a movie that you can't, like, it's not an adult.
Also, you have
directed movie. This is for
Ron
all
Weasley in there
people to
too.
go
You
see.
got Rupert Grint in there,
Yeah,
who looks like
Rupert
he's playing
Grint,
Bob
so
Cratchit. So,
yeah, I mean, look, this is one of Paramount's biggest pictures of this year on a very unimpressive slate of movies. So they need this to make money. So I hope it does.
Yeah.
Especially because the trailer looks fun.
I love how it's like A Christmas Carol coming this Thanksgiving. Okay.
No, they said the holiday starts with a humbug, which there's been plenty of movies that come out like.
No, I know.
Thanksgiving
It's
time.
just it's
'cause,
I just think
dude,
it's funny,
only
like the most
Thanksgiving in
classic
America.
Christmas tale of all time
Yeah.
coming out in November. But like
I mean,
obviously
but
it can't come out in
it's
December because then it's fucking competing with fucking Doomsday over there. So obviously they
Doomsday,
can't fucking
Angry Birds 3, Jumanji 3.
Okay, fucking
like,
nobody gives a fuck
just-
about Angry Birds anymore.
Well, no, but Jumanji 3 is a big one. You know, the next level. So like that one.
It's technically
is gonna
Jumanji 4.
whatever, the next level, whatever they're calling it, like that's the one with The Rock. So anyway, yeah, I can't wait to see this movie now. And
Yeah.
you know what, it will be around when it's Christmas time, and they're gonna probably have it in theaters for a month and a half anyway, so good stuff.
Then we got Wolverine. Cool.
Okay, I saw this and sure, cool. I'm not gonna get the game myself, but we got more of Jean Grey in this trailer, more of the story. You get more Sabretooth. Hello, M2G. I haven't been feeling all that well today, so I just had to kind of like rush through trailers, and I was like, I don't know, do I really want to sit through this? And it wasn't anything that look, if you love Marvel games, this doesn't look all that bad. I'm not gonna buy it myself, so I don't feel either way about it. Like, I don't know, John, did you care for it?
I
at
will
all?
say that's a very ugly, uncanny valley face right there, because Wolf.
It is. It's just, and the first trailer had that feel. This one also kind of has that feel. I'm like, just do a different thing. Kind of like the Marvel's Avengers game also had a little bit of that, but then like some of the characters, clearly they weren't trying to replicate the live action MCU guys. But this definitely feels like they're trying to do Hugh Jackman without, you know, doing Hugh Jackman, and it's anyway. But hey, cool. It looks like the game mechanics look fun, or at least the gameplay footage
Sure.
shown looks fun. So
Anyway, Percy Jackson Season 3, premiere date revealed, first footage from The Titan's Curse shown at Comic-Con. It is
November
it is
20th.
going to debut November 20th of this year. Very nice.
Hey,
About the
nice. Don't care too much
my
more.
least favorite book, actually. I
yeah.
didn't really like Titan's Curse all that much. It's good, but it was the weakest of the
Well,
5 books
figure
for
on
me.
you would know more than I do about the Wolverine game, honestly. I just, again, it didn't leave an impression on me. So, and I haven't really caught up with Percy Jackson Olympian since season 1. So, but hey, if you guys are watching still, then season 3
Like
comes
everyone's
next
like,
week.
the show kind of blows, so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna watch it
Yeah.
then. But yeah, cool.
Yep, cool.
Anyway, Blade Runner. All the douchebags are probably mad at this, which I'm happy about.
I don't
But
get it. Like, it's Hunter Schafer is great, and Michelle Yeoh
yeah,
is great.
but she's
Like, it
trans,
looks
so they hate her
fantastic.
because she exists. So
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Hunter Schafer is sexy. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. What? Like,
But Blade Runner
right there.
2099, Prime
It's
Video
what's wrong with you
show.
guys?
It's not a movie, it's a show. It also has Michelle Yeoh in it, and it
Mhm.
apparently takes place after like a war with humans
Mhm.
and replicants, and the replicants won, so now it's like post that civil war. So this is definitely intriguing to me. I love 2049. I thought it was even better than the original film. I'm not a huge fan of the original Blade Runner. I think it's good, but not great. Um, but yeah, this first look, it definitely has that vibe of the Denis
Yeah.
Villeneuve film.
Yeah.
So
It.
yeah, this
I
is
just, the one thing I do worry. Look, the stills look great. It definitely fits in with that world. It has flown under the radar a lot. Like
I
King's
guess you can
Portal was saying.
say Hunter Schafer's really going to be a hunter.
Yes. Hello, Steven. Is SummerSlam this weekend or is it next week? I think it's next week. Anyway, I was just gonna say though, the one thing I worry about a little bit is that Dune prophecy effect, where it feels like a lower budget version of the big movie thing. So, but the sets so
Sir
far look
Roger
good,
Deakins.
and they're working with that grungy world feel of 2049. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see this.
I hope it's
want to see
good.
the trailer. I don't know too much about it beyond what we just talked about. So again, they haven't really, like, the marketing needs to be better, but I'm sure it's a TV show, so they'll pick up closer to release date. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. It gives me a chance to go and rewatch 2049 one more time. So
Yes.
because assuming this is all the same continuity, right? So yeah, but yeah, we'll see. Cyberpunk noir. That's the
And
kind of thing. I
now
mean, look, the
let's
world needs
get
more Blade Runner.
let's get into Caleb's favorite part of the show, the business of Hollywood, because we have some merger
Okay.
talk to talk about.
I want to keep it relatively short today because I'm also not feeling well, but I do. Okay, I'm just gonna preface what I'm gonna say by saying this, guys. This is the best chance anybody has of stopping this Paramount Warner Brothers merger, right? So, what's happened now is we've been talking about it for a while, like, not, well, while being relative. The judge, I believe, a week ago granted the temporary restraining order for 14 days for 2 weeks to pause the merger. She just extended it by another 2 weeks, so now it's going to be for a month total, or 28 days, the lunar cycle. That's about as much as she can do. You can't extend it any further. So the next step is that the attorney generals and the writers guild are looking to get a preliminary injunction. What that means, if it is granted, and there's a hearing set for it on August 3rd. Now, if the preliminary injunction is granted, the PI, I guess, that could pause this merger for at least 8 months, because that would mean this case has to go to trial. And then once the trial is done, then, once the case is settled, either out of, a court or through trial, and you get a verdict, that's the only way that that the merger can then either go through or not go through, because until the case is done, if there's an injunction in place, that won't happen. That could cost Paramount billions of dollars more, because they have a ticking fee that kicks in September 30th, which is equivalent to tens, if not, I think hundreds of millions of dollars, like pretty much every 3 months, because it's going to cost them a lot more money. So the thing is, the Writers Guild, they're doing their own lawsuit, and then the attorney generals are doing their own lawsuit. The attorney generals are the ones who just had their temporary restraining order extended. The writers are still trying to get their own restraining order for their case, which is more on labor, side of the argument, whereas the attorney generals are making an antitrust argument. So it's more about, it's too big of a company, it's going to have too big of a share of the market. The writers are talking about this merger is going to cause too many writers to not have the jobs and not get paid as well as they would if there were these two separate studios rather than becoming one studio. Now, what Paramount wants, John, if you go to the next thing, Paramount, for their part, they're trying to, basically what amounts to a mini trial before the injunction is granted. And there's an article here, I think John stepped away for a minute, but basically Paramount is trying to get they're trying to have the judge allow them to do a 3-day mini trial of sorts, a hearing, not a hearing, but it's an evidentiary kind of a hearing situation, where basically what it would be is the executives from the two companies would show up and provide, their arguments for why the merger should go through. And then, I'll get to that point, your fake, later. And then that could like maybe influence the judge to not grant the injunction. John, if you're able to go to the next article, Paramount is trying to make that happen. They want that to happen. They want a 3-day mini trial is the term I'm using for it, before any kind of injunction is granted. The decision for that, of course, there's a hearing for that on August 3rd. Now, John, if you go to the next article, that's what Paramount wants. Paramount, they're like, okay, we got the TRO, but the TRO is gonna only go till August 17th. So John, if you go to the next, oh, okay, right there. So there it is. So now the 3-day evidentiary.
Yeah, the thumbnail's the same, so it looked the same.
No, I know, but now the evidentiary hearing is Paramount's way of maybe potentially trying to convince the judge to not provide the injunction, because if they provide the injunction, Paramount's lawyer said it could cause, in their, I'm paraphrasing, basically they implied it could cause, some financial uncertainty for Paramount to go through with the merger, which is like the first hint that I see that Paramount may, depending on how long the injunction would last for, how long the case could go for, Paramount might consider walking away, depending on if it starts to get too expensive for them, because literally the ticking fee is going to keep going and going and going. So is this going to happen? Is this all? There's a lot of steps here. There's a lot of steps here to, to move forward. Now, it's a good step in the right direction for the attorney generals, and the Writers Guild are also trying to line up in their case on the same timeline. And speaking of, August 3rd, that hearing that the judge has set for the injunction. Now, the judge hasn't agreed to do this evidentiary hearing that Paramount is asking for. So if that happens, then that might change the timeline. But as of right now, August 3rd, the judge is going to, do the hearing. And the judge just said, not only can the state attorney general show up to that hearing because they're the plaintiffs, and the Paramount, can show up because they're the defendants, but they said the WGA, which has its own case running, and the WGA wants their own kind of like hearing. They're saying the WGA can take part in this as well. So they're going to hear basically, all three parties at once. So the two plaintiffs and then the one defendant. And then whether the judge decides to actually hand out the injunction or not, we will hear hopefully August 3rd or maybe the day after whether that happened. Now, if that does happen, then of course, this will potentially go to trial. Now, the reason why the state attorney generals and the writers don't want that the evidentiary hearing, John, is because anytime something goes to trial, there's a period, there's a part of any trial case called discovery. And in the discovery phase, both sides get to, they're able to, find information on each other. They're able to like, all right, you need to give us your records, and then you need to give us your records and all those things. And then you can cross-examine, bring witnesses against the evidence that's available. Both sides need, like, that discovery phase is very important because it brings out like, okay, so what are your financials? What are your projections? What arguments are you making? What are the things that you're going to use to back up your arguments once we get to trial? We need to know that. So both sides need to know that. That's the discovery phase. Now, basically, that discovery phase doesn't happen until this thing goes to trial. So what Paramount is asking for is a 3-day mini trial without a discovery phase, because it's not really a mini trial. It's basically is, but it wouldn't be like, the case wouldn't be going to trial. It would just be 3 days of people from Paramount talking about why this is a good idea and why this is not anti-competitive. And so the Paramount people are saying, oh, not the Paramount, the state attorneys are saying that we don't want that because there's no discovery, there's no actual objective evidence that they'll be providing. It would just be their executives talking up their side of the case to try to convince you to not grant an injunction, which is not fair. Just go off of the information both sides have provided, and that should be enough for you to make a decision on an injunction. Don't do a mini trial. Let's do a proper trial after the injunction. So as of right now, August 3rd is the big date, and hopefully, we'll get an injunction, because I'm on the side right now that this merger is anti-competitive given where Hollywood is headed. So I would like to see that injunction put in place, because then Paramount cannot close the deal with Warner Brothers. They have to continue to operate as two separate companies until the trial is done, until this case is done, whether it's settled outside of court or whether it goes to trial. And then whatever decision is made after that, either it will be blocked or it will be allowed to go through. But it does allow the states to essentially put a lot of hurt on Paramount financially. So then it will test the mettle of the Ellisons to see if they're willing to, cough up an extra, I don't know, however many billions of dollars. Just an extra 8 months could cost them a couple of $1 billion on top of what they're already paying, based on the ticking fee that they agreed to with Warner Brothers. So, and then it could go even longer because 8 months is the minimum. So this is a good thing right now that they extended the temporary restraining order. There's a hearing for the injunction to be granted on August 3rd, and then after that we'll see where it goes next. So that's all there is right now. It's just it's an update, but it's a significant one. And to your point, could the Ellisons appeal an injunction? Your Fake 915 saying there are some cases that the Supreme Court can pick up on their own, and since the Supreme Court is stacked in their favor, some people are afraid of this. Yeah, so they did say they will appeal it all the way to the Supreme Court, but the problem is you can make that threat, but going to the appeals process all the way to the Supreme Court. By the way, the Supreme Court can't just pick up any random case. What they do is they provide they do these provisionary opinions or whatever that's called. Basically, the Supreme Court can pick up any case that's in the lower courts and provide like a temporary opinion on it, saying, okay, if this were to come to the Supreme Court, this is how we feel about it. And that's not entirely reinforceable. I mean, it could to a certain degree, but that's a big gray area. So yeah, I'm just gonna say, yeah, if they do want to take it to the Supreme Court, the one thing that working against Paramount, they can make the threat, but John, anything that goes to the Supreme Court, if it goes through all the appellate courts beforehand, it takes time. And literally for the Paramount
I remember you
side,
mentioning
time is
that,
money.
so yeah.
Like, time is money. And so I think ultimately the attorney generals, like, even if they are able to drain a few billion, squeeze a few $1 billion out of the Ellisons, I'm okay with that at the very least. And, it might even force Paramount to reconsider. Like, it may not make sense in a couple of years of it. Because remember that when the Department of Justice sued and went to trial with AT&T over the Warner Brothers merger years ago, that took 2 years. It cost, but AT&T didn't have a ticking fee. An extra 2 years here could mean several $1 billion more, and potentially other costs associated with, refinancing all the loans that they have and everything they've got put in place. And the world could look like a very different place in 2 years' time, considering where we are at now. Especially, the political backing for Paramount might not quite be there in a couple of years when the next presidential election happens in the U.S. So there's a lot that can happen. So we will see how this all plays out. I mean, there was the European equivalent of Cinema United recently, where they made a statement that the European regulators shouldn't have they should have asked for a lot more concessions for Paramount to approve the merger, instead of only asking for like them to get out of the co-distribution deal with Universal, which really meant nothing to the two companies. And so there's a lot of opposition to this from across the pond and in the US, and obviously the UK regulator still hasn't made a decision on this. They just got a new prime minister, so even though the culture secretary is the same and she's the one leading this, so we'll see. Paramount's troubles are only just beginning, it looks like. So we'll see if this merger goes through, and we'll keep up with the updates as they happen. So there you go, that's what we're at right now, and we'll circle back later. So let's keep going.
Let's move on to something quicker, and that is indeed the quick hits. So let's get it started, because apparently it has been leaked. Chris Evans' real role in Avengers Doomsday, and that is, of course, Jake Weiler. Great to see. I've heard this movie's pretty underrated, so
this is great. I love the spoilers. These are the kind of spoilers I want. They should have done that. On Threads you can do this like this pixie dust thing to hide spoilers until you click on it. I'm like, they should have done that with this, just to really throw people off the scent even more. Anyway.
Next up, Robert Pattinson primetime pick from A24 sets early fall theatrical release. Apparently it will debut in theaters nationwide on September 25th. So
yeah, this is
Robert Pattinson, part of his generational run right now, just killing it.
Yeah. Also, I think it's gonna get a premiere at Venice, and this is one of the few Hollywood movies from like one of the bigger Hollywood studios, or like a Hollywood studio that's gonna be at Venice. So this movie is gonna have a nice marketing campaign behind it, especially for the the indie circuit and everything. Yeah, Robert Pattinson having him, Zendaya, Tom Holland, all having great years so far.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Tom Holland.
Speaking of Tom Holland, though, unfortunately, I can't see it because the Vulture sucks. But Tom, he threw up. So apparently, he was on Hot Ones with your boy John Bernthal.
Yeah.
And yeah, and this is what happens when a Brit finally tastes flavor for the first time.
Well,
so
it was him and Anne Hathaway, and it was actually his second time. So I'm surprised he wasn't prepared this time around. But hey,
yeah,
he threw up.
Wait, I thought it was with John Bernthal.
Was it John Bernthal? Oh, I might be okay. I thought Anne said Anne. Okay, well, John Bernthal, even better.
No, I think
so
that
means
means Anne Hathaway is on a good run right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, got it. You guys are a few seconds behind us in the comments.
So yeah, John Bernthal was with him, and Tom, he couldn't handle it, and you know, your boy, poor British boy can't handle the spice. So here we are. Sorry, Tom. Anyway, IMAX quarterly revenues, profit rises on premium screen gold rush. So
yeah, it's they said so the CEO of IMAX said that
CEO of sex.
The CEO of IMAX said that the Odyssey has been transformational for them, and these, by the way, are numbers from the second quarter of the year. That doesn't include the Odyssey, so I can only see that the IMAX's third quarter numbers are going to look big because the Odyssey is making bank right now. So I mean, and you know what? IMAX is done the best job of any of those premium formats of, like, again, IMAX is its own thing, by the way. They're unlike those like Dolby formats and stuff. I mean, obviously Dolby partners with AMC, but it's like a different situation. Whereas like IMAX, they don't own the screens, but they own the technology, and they're their own company. It's not like they're just like Dolby does something different and they partner with AMC. So it's good. And remember, IMAX was considering being sold. Like IMAX is right now on a high. So this is if that's those sale talks come back, then you know, like, you sell on a high, not on a low. And I wouldn't be surprised if you hear about IMAX being sold in the next 6 months, considering by the time quarter 3 numbers come out, IMAX will be like floating on water, walking on water. So yeah.
Definitely good for IMAX. But not just good for IMAX, good for Pete Davidson, apparently. Because he is going to be playing mobster Tommy Patera, and in the film Tommy Karate, and that's him. And he looks like Pete Davidson with makeup on.
Yeah,
so
I
don't know, unrecognizable, but it looks good.
Sure, yeah. I was like, he doesn't look unrecognizable. That's a little over the top, but sure, he looks good.
Like The Rock looked almost unrecognizable in The Smashing Machine.
The Smashing Machine, yeah. I almost said The Smashing Pumpkins, but I realized that's not a movie, that's bad. Anyway, let's keep going.
Anyway. Possession set photos, Margaret Qualley channels Isabelle Adjani in remake of controversial cult classic. So you do see a little bit of kind of that vibe in this film, and I'm intrigued with how this will go. The original movie is definitely weird. It's not for everybody, but I respect it. Its place in horror. So yeah, it's I because I know Robert Pattinson is also going to be this. Sam Neill and Isabelle Adjani were in the original, and rest in peace. But yeah, I think that this is definitely Possession is. It's fucking bonkers, dude. It's like, I'm pretty sure that's what birthed most hentai, but you know, it's so I mean,
dude, you had me at Margaret Qualley, and I was like, yep.
Yeah, maybe
Not
they
a horror
will have
fan,
a scene
but
where she's fucking the octopus in this movie, so you know, because that's essentially what the movie is. It's like a woman has an affair on her husband with an octopus. So yeah, it's definitely.
I watched The Shape of Water. I think I'm prepared for this, Sean. I'm prepared for this.
I don't know about that, Dan, buddy. I wasn't prepared, and I watch worse shit than you do. So, yeah. But yeah, Possession, intriguing film. The only thing that bothers me about this, it's like got a good cast, but it's the director of Smile, and that was pretty garbo. So I can't imagine I feel like it's gonna be like a sanitized kind of lame version of the original movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Look, Smile was not terrible. It just wasn't super standout. It just felt like, you know, beat by beat most cheap horror movies. But it wasn't terrible. So I'm like, okay, cool. This seems like an upgrade for him because he's got a much bigger cast and I'm sure bigger budget.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yep.
Rings of Power season 3 reveals first look at Sauron's ring race, and they look like shit.
There they are, right there. First look.
Yep.
The ring rates before they weren't human anymore. Isn't that the idea? Yeah. So cool. Rings of Power season 3. Look, second season was an improvement. So let's see if they continue on the trajectory of season 3. Amazon Prime Video. It's their biggest series. It's like they spent more money on this than anybody has any right to. So
Star Trek Strange New Worlds season 4 beams onto Paramount Plus. Find out what the cast just teased.
So basically they were talking about how I think the cast were at an event in New York recently. And of course, who's the guy? Why am I forgetting his name? The guy who makes it. Like who's their Kevin Feige again? It's I forget his name.
Alex
Anyway,
Kurtzman?
No, it's some other Akiva Goldsman. Goldsman.
Gross. Also terrible.
I think actually, yeah. So, but anyway, look, I think Strange New Worlds is actually really fun, and that they talked about in this season, they're literally genre hopping each episode. Like, there's gonna be an episode where it's a western, and then they have like a black hole episode, and then they have an episode with dinosaurs, and then they actually have one where Jim Henson's company is gonna like do like puppets because they all become puppets for something. It's like it feels like they're trying to replicate the feel of the original series, which was like very hokey at times, but like still felt like this, Trekkies, like, well, I use the word Trekkies in a very meta sense, space sci-fi. So I appreciate that. They've done a musical episode already, which anytime a show has a musical episode, that means I'm gonna get stuck on that episode because I refuse to watch it for years before I move forward. So that happened with me on Psych, and then I watched it eventually. That's happened with me on this show, so I need to catch up. And then they released a new episode, I think this week, yesterday. Or on Thursday when we started the show, and they're going to be releasing new episodes every week till like September. So this is the penultimate season of the show as well, and so I'm sure we're going to get a lot more of Kirk and Spock interacting to set up that relationship for when the show eventually ends. I think they're meant to end right where the original series began. So
yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, with our boy Pike getting murked, but oh well.
I love how they make that into canon though, because they could have just let that be like all those years ago. But I appreciate it because like they're like we had a character, Anyway.
Beauty and Black renewed for season 4 following earlier decision to end Tyler Perry's series with season 3. Cool.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, this was originally they were like we're wrapping it up with season 3, and they're like, psych, we're gonna make a season 4. Beauty and Black.
That's what happened. That's what happened with Lucifer. Happened with The Bear. It's happening with this now.
And I mean, Tyler Perry, obviously, he's got shows everywhere, including Netflix. So, cool stuff. I'm not caught up on this at all. I think I saw like the first episode, and that's about it. So, Tyler Perry is a man, and has been around a while. The man, he's got one of the biggest independent production studios in America. I think he's got a huge presence in Atlanta. I forget which big Hollywood studio he's currently got like a primary deal with, but obviously he produces stuff for multiple outlets. So anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah.
He's got
Apple
the
TV greenlights first ever dating series, The Last Person on Earth, landing the Invite consultant Esther Perel as host. Cool.
I recently worked an Esther Perel like conference event on one of the media teams, and yeah, I mean, if you enjoy her podcast, then this is gonna be a different kind of dating show. It's based on the philosophy that she had champions. So I mean, it's more elevated than Love Island per se. Which, not that Love Island is a dating series, but maybe like Bachelorette. Actually, that's not even. Anyway, I'm gonna stop trying to make comparisons because I don't know enough about this. But hey, if you guys want
neither
to watch
do I.
it.
Anyway, morning show is gonna end with season 5. Cool.
One of the last remaining flagship shows that launched in that first generation of
that and
shows.
For All Mankind, both of them are ending.
Both,
so
yeah. And I mean, For All Mankind actually lasted a few more seasons, even though you could tell same amount of time. It's just they took a extra long gap between a couple of the morning show seasons. But season 5, yeah.
Well,
think it's
doesn't
about
For All Mankind have? Isn't it season 6 that it's ending?
I think it's 6 or 7. Or was this season 5?
70s,
The one that
80s,
just-
90s, 2000s, 2010s.
They were in the 2010s.
2020, so it is the 60s. Or
It is the 6.
The season 6, 20s.
Yeah.
2020s.
I just went through and finished Star City. God damn, that show is good. Like it starts off a bit slow, but holy shit, if you haven't finished that, John, that show is fun.
I haven't even watched it. I was like, I don't give a
I
fuck
can't
about
wait
these
for it.
commie bastards. Get the
No,
fuck
but
off.
dude, it's honestly
I've heard it's good, but like,
it's really
again,
good.
Dan,
It's really
I have
good.
so much to watch. I haven't even I haven't finished Spider Noir yet, and I'm like, I love that show. It's a great show, but like,
You need to get on that.
I know
it's fine.
it's sad.
Now I'm watching season 3 of Silo. That's what I'm on.
Harry Potter publisher to receive millions in Anthropic copyright settlement. Is
Anthropic,
that
the
AI
company.
related?
Well, it's Anthropic, the AI company that makes
Yeah.
Claude. So basically, they had a lawsuit that the Bloomsbury, which has not only published the Harry Potter books, but 14,087 titles in total, including the however many Harry Potter books there are. And basically, it was about how they skimmed those books and used them illegally without paying royalties and fees to the publisher, and the court ruled in favor of the publisher. So yeah, the authors and the company are going to split the winnings from the case, and it sets a precedent because I think this is the first time something like this has happened where copyrighted works won a case against AI for like unlawfully using that to train their algorithms. So yeah, I think this is going to be good for future cases because it sets a nice precedent. And I mean, and this might be the first of hopefully many like this. I think the studios, remember the studios are still got that thing going with what's that image generating AI? You guys tell me in the chat. Like, what is that image generator AI companies? It's like it's like the most Midjourney. Remember Midjourney has a lawsuit with the studios, so that's also going on. So that like this could work in their favor of the lawyers for the studios. Yeah, there are tons. Yeah, many of them going on right now. Anyway.
NBC Universal becoming independent. Talks with potential partners are underway. Comcast execs say.
So basically, the TLDR of the Midjourney generates AI images. If you don't know, just look it up, Caleb. There's a thing called the internet. You're on it right now. But NBC Universal, of course, they're splitting off of Comcast, and they keep calling themselves like now we're independent, which makes you wonder if they are going to go and either get bought or buy another company to try to grow. But they were saying that as now being not part of Comcast or soon to be not part of Comcast anymore next year, they're open to basically being like Sony, where while they have Peacock, which by the way just finally turned a profit, and finally after 6 years of launching in 2020 it turned a profit. But they're saying that we're willing to bundle Peacock with other streaming services, which I think they already have a bundle with like Apple TV or something like that. So, and they're gonna be still willing to make shows and movies for other outlets like other streaming services, and be willing to have like they obviously already do, like Harry Potter and other IPs in their theme parks. So nothing new here in that sense, but there are rumors that the new independent NBC Universal Sky company could be looking to get bought or by another like Netflix or Apple or something down the road. So we will see. We shall see.
But more up your alley than mine. Indian epic Ramayana lands at Sony Pictures for international distribution. So it looks like Bollywood has their own Odyssey, kind of, sort of, because this is also mythological based a bit.
It is. Yeah, it's based on in Indian mythology. There was somebody in the chat yesterday talking about this. So I figured I'd bring it up. Basically, this movie. Get this, by the way. This movie is being produced in multiple languages. It's also it's not just like being dubbed in different languages. Like there's gonna be an English language version, like there was for RRR, but they're making it so that it's made for an international audience. Like A.R. Rahman, who won an Oscar for Slumdog Millionaire. He and Hans Zimmer are doing the score for this movie. So that's, again, you know, this is, I mean, Hans Zimmer is actually a big Indian movie fan. And now Sony Pictures has acquired the rights to distribute the movie everywhere outside of India. So in India, Dharma Productions, who's Karan Johar's thing, which you probably don't know what that is or who that is, they're doing it in India. Outside of India, Sony is going to distribute this, and this could become one of like India's biggest movies at the box office. DNEG, Double Negative, DNEG, the visual effects studio behind Blade Runner 2049, the Dune movies, Interstellar, Inception, The Odyssey. They're a big VFX house out of India. They've worked on all those big movies. They're doing all the VFX for this movie too. So they're making it at the level of like the, you know, most Hollywood movies, or, you know, as close as could be. And then Prime Focus Studio, which is done the Garfield movie most recently, and they're part of the Angry Birds movie. They're co-producing this, so they're putting the money in for this movie. So, but they're, you know, they're working with Legendary on the Animal Friends live action animation hybrid. So there's a lot of big people and studios involved in this. So this could be the biggest movie to come out of India this year, basically. It's going to come out around November, which is, you know, around the time that Diwali happens. So, you know, Thanksgiving time in the US just about. So it's going to be a big deal. So, yeah, we don't need to talk about the other Odyssey there, but I can't wait to see what this turns into, if it is going to be as popular as RRR. But,
yeah. But next up, finally, Brad Bird shuts down the biggest Incredibles 3 fan theory. That fan theory being is like, oh, we're finally going to age up the family, because that's what a lot of talk that the second one was going to be about. But like, nope, it's going to take place right after the second movie where they're all the same age.
A bit of a rant about that, yeah.
I honestly don't mind. I know a lot of people that are like pissed about that, but honestly, I like that dynamic with them all around this age. You know, I like, you know, it's because I know like a lot of people are like, oh, because I don't know why this has been like a fucking thing for years, but like, oh yeah, age up Jack and make him a villain. It's like, why? Like, what's the fucking point of that? Like, I don't.
Because I'm like, it's like, you know, you watch SpongeBob never ages. You know,
yeah, it's like it's supposed to be like an animation thing. Like,
yeah.
The thing is, they grow, but they still remain the same kind of thing, and I like that.
Yeah.
Like, I like how Bob and Helen and Jack and Violet and Dash are all the same, because like, I don't know, it's just like the time where we fell in love with these characters, why wouldn't you want to keep it at that time? You know, we fell in love with them when, you know, Dash was like a fucking 10-year-old, Violet was a high schooler, Jack's a baby, they're all adults. Like, I don't want to see like decrepit fucking Mr. Incredible when he's like 80 and he can't like fucking be strong. Like, why is that? Because I feel like there's like this need, oh, we got to age them up. It's just like, okay, you could tell a decent story with that, but I feel like there's also the stigma of like old man Luke, you know, where it's like, oh, drinking green milk from nipples on a fucking, you know, island somewhere. And I'm just like, I don't know.
But look, here's the thing. The simple reason why Brad Bird doesn't want to do that is he said, look, this family represents all like the different ages that you have. Like in a family, you have the father, you know, it represents the, you know, what people expect the father to be like, you know, and like he was like, you know, the mother character is like Elastigirl because, you know, mothers get pulled in all these directions by their kids and their husband and everything. And so they want to keep that dynamic because each character allows them to explore something different about, you know, different parts of people's lives. I think the thing is, there's a lot of people that grew up and you know what, Figure, you're not wrong. There's a lot of people that grew up with these movies and they just want the characters to grow up with them. But I'm like Toy Story. Like, I know like they finally gave Woody a bald spot, but I'm like, that's the closest thing we have gotten to anybody in those movies aging.
Well, we also had Andy grow up from a kid to like a young adult,
but like, you know, but there were humans in the. So what I'm saying is like, this is not, it's not an exact analogy, but I'm saying like, this is fine. Now, the one thing you got to wonder about, like Peter Sohn is the one directing this, who directed Elemental. Because remember, Brad Bird is no longer with Pixar. He's at Skydance Animation. So, yeah. But they're working on this together. So I wonder, like, I mean, I don't know how closely Brad Bird is involved with this. But
he's writing
like,
it. He's writing it. He's not directing, but he is writing it.
So I think then the decision is still up to him, and I think Disney still will trust him to like make the right choice. I don't think they're gonna age him, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm fine with it. It's you know what it is. Ideally, they should have put an Incredibles 2 out 10 years sooner than they did, and then
Yeah.
do like, so it's just that gap makes people
Like
be
instead of doing
you know,
fucking Cars 2, they should have
Yeah.
done.
I mean, Cars 3 was great. It was like the F1 of
All right,
that
heavy
animation,
emphasis
Pixar
on
animation, but
great, but like it's the best of the three, but like not good.
ka-chow.
It's fine.
Ka-chow. Anyway, let's keep going. Actually, no, we're done. We're done with quick
We're
hits.
done. No more.
We'll leave that there.
Quick hits is no more. No more mutants. Anyway, but now we you know, well
I thought I was just gonna poof away the moment you said that. So
what? I was just quoting House of M. Calm down. But thanks for watching. We're gonna move on to DC related things. Got a lot of San Diego Comic-Con stuff to talk about. So let's get started. Let's stay blessed. Let's do all the things.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
there's the shot right there. That
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Let's get nuts.
Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you really I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you wanna shine. Follow my lead, don't listen to lies. I had to put me all in the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Welcome to DCU Daily. Here we are. It's gonna be fun. Possibly. Sorry if I sound tired. It's like 1:30 in the morning. So anyway, welcome to the show. So here we are. Oh boy, that's still purple. But yeah. Welcome to the show. We have our quick hits. I did mention that we got some Supergirl stuff to talk about, a little bit about Jim Lee because he was at Comic-Con. So he's, we're gonna be talking about him for a little bit. Gonna be talking about all the things. Dan will be back soon enough. And there we go. Now it's nice and blue. But honka indeed. Hopefully Lanterns is blessed. I don't know about that. Yeah. Anyway, first let's hang on. Let's move on to the Ducks, Parrots, and Pelicans of DCU news. Bird blindness is real, ladies and gents, and there you go, Jalen. We got a picture of Millie Alcock for you. Not super sexy Millie Alcock, but she's hot still. Apparently, Supergirl digital and Blu-ray release dates officially announced. Bonus features are revealed. We did talk about what the Blu-ray, 4K, and DVD covers will look like. But the second DCU takes flight on digital July 27th and will be available to purchase on 4K Blu-ray DVD on September 4th. We did talk about this earlier about how it was going to be the 28th, which, it's a day off, and then September 8th was going to be the day that it goes on to physical, but it's very close, September 4th. So it, that's about a month, which, 30-day window, that's not great, but like, all things considering, it stayed in theaters longer than like Fall Guy, and not quite as long as Superman, but that like got cut short for very stupid reasons. So yeah, it took home. I don't think that's right. But it took a worldwide gross of around $120.86 million. It didn't take 1.525 million. Hold on, that's a typo. Hang on a sec. Let me take a look here. But in terms of, so the domestic was 70 million, the international was 50 million, so 121 is the worldwide. So yeah, it's a shame, but as it says here, the DCU will not live or die based on the critical and commercial performance of one movie, and Clayface has a modest enough budget and some positive buzz behind it. But with the merger of Paramount and Warner Brothers, there's going to be a lot more powerful eyes on next year's Man of Tomorrow. So we also saw the Steelbooks. But yeah, so in terms of 90 minutes of bonus features. You do have making of Supergirl flying off the page in terms of its, relevance to Woman of Tomorrow, which I don't know how great that is considering it was barely like the original book, but Space in a Bad Neighborhood, that's going to be about the production design. Practical Legacy, which it's going to talking about the effects. Got Showdown at Evely Square, action set piece. Going to see a little bit about Lobo, the soundtrack, Map of the Galaxy, about crypto, and a lot of deleted scenes, as well as Coastal Catastrophe, the animated short. But considering that's available online, I don't know how much of a great special feature that is. But honestly, I might get it on DVD or Blu-ray. Like usually, it's funny how I don't own a lot of superhero movies. Like I own I have Batman 89, I have Superman 2, Richard Donner cut, I have Age of Ultron, I think I have Logan. I finally got Superman 2025. It was like on clearance at FYE, so I was like, all right, I'll take this. So yeah. So that's all the information pertaining to Supergirl and that release. New intro, no, same old intro. I want Millie in the intro, damn it. Jim Lee is always a comic book yeah, of course. But the Steelbook, yes, we did take a look at the Steelbook. Millie, yes, very much a heart. Stop crying, it's just an image, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that seems to be the case. Yeah, I'm curious to watch it again to see if it holds up for me. Supergirl is as close as an adaptation to Starship Troopers and its book. Yeah, yeah, that definitely seems like the case. So, yeah, so if you were curious about special features and all that, then wait till September 4th to get it. Yeah, I know I have a couple others, but nothing's coming to my mind right now. But yeah, but obviously we will move on to, keeping with the Millie Alcock Supergirl theme, her suit, in addition to the Green Lantern power battery from Lanterns, is at the DC booth at San Diego Comic-Con. So, boom, you have the suit right there. So that means she's either done filming on Man of Tomorrow or hasn't started filming yet. But I think she was spotted on set of Man of Tomorrow, so I assume her role is done if the suit is here. So, yeah. But then we have the Green Lantern power battery, which looks like horseshit. Yeah. But yeah, that's what that's looking like. And then DC Comics is giving out freebies all around San Diego Comic-Con in San Diego. So this person's kind of online on to get all sorts of stuff. They have the DC shop there. They got all this stuff. So yeah, apparently you can log in and unlock stuff. So you gotta watch. Got all sorts of swag. Very cool. Very nice. I like a Batman thing. But yeah, this is fun. Also, hi, Markatna. How you doing? Very cool. I mean, I think they're done filming in early August. So yeah, she's probably done filming. But is it me or did it used to be bigger? No, I mean, this is just like a small thing of it. So, I don't know, maybe for reasons, I don't fucking know. Looks fine to me. But yeah, cool. So this gentleman got a lot of swag. Next up, Lanterns has taken over Villains Brewing Company. Honestly, this almost looks like a fucking TARDIS console. But yeah. Honestly, it looks pretty cool. Nice. Yeah. Anyway, I like the power battery. It looks cool. I mean, I still hate the design, but in context of this, it looks cool. Then Jim Lee talking about shit. Yeah. Ain't that nice? I mean, you could probably find a replica online. It's probably going to be expensive, but you could probably find it. But yeah, just Jim Lee talking about shit. Cool. Then your boy Zachy kicking things in trash cans where his DCEU belongs. Am I right? Anyway, so there's Zack Snyder for you. Anywho, Batman Kid Crusader Season 2 adds Matthew Needham to voice the Joker. As we all know, Joker is coming into the sophomore season of Cape Crusader. Apparently, it was revealed at San Diego Comic-Con, and he was apparently on House of the Dragon, would be adding his name to the list of prolific actors who have lent their talents to the Clown Prince of Crime. And this is a new look at the character. Very cool, very different, very creepy. I do hope it's much better than season 1. Season 1, I felt it was not very interesting, and it didn't feel like the character. But I guess so. I don't fucking know who this guy is, but like the voice they did for the end of season 1 and in that trailer were good. Like he's definitely more serious, not as like deranged. So I'm curious how they'll go with that. Sure, I guess. Yeah, it was really dull. Like I was more engaged with Kite Man Hell Yeah than I was with Batman Cape Crusader, which is saying fucking a lot. But yeah. Burn. Okay. Cool. Yeah, good writing. Get rid of Bruce Timm, get rid of J.J. Abrams, because all of those things would be better. But then finally, apparently, so Adria Arjona on the Wonder Woman rumors. Funny that you asked me that. James Gunn gave me my first movie ever. The first movie I ever stepped on was a James Gunn and Peter Safran movie, which was the Belko Experiment. So they are family, and I'm so happy to be a part of DCU. I'm with family. Obviously, that does not even come close to answering the question of like, oh, is she actually Wonder Woman and she's not Maxima? So she didn't say no, she didn't say yes, so she's just like, I'm with family again.
What's real is family.
But yeah, it's I mean, here's the thing, like I think Dan might have said this where I think Dan might have said this where he was like, "Oh,
Sure.
like if did you say like if they had her as Wonder Woman, they would fucking advertise that. They would show that like if you had Wonder Woman in Man of Tomorrow, they would talk about that shit constantly because they need to sell the movie like, "Oh my god, this one of the other parts of the DC Trinity are in this fucking movie." Wouldn't you want to sell that? Wouldn't you want to like, oh yeah, Wonder Woman is in this? I understand there's some like, oh, there's some secretive aspects, but like, after your sophomore movie kind of, didn't do that great, and it's like, oh shit, let's, double down on that. I would want to I would want to, show that, I want to, oh hey, Wonder Woman, let's go. But no, they
I think
I genuinely do think she would be a very good Wonder Woman, but I think she would also, I think she'll do perfectly fine as Maxima. Plus, as I said before, when she was first cast, that's a very James Gunn thing to do. Like, oh, I see her as Wonder Woman. Time to cast her as a completely different character. That's such a James Gunn thing to do. Like, he's such a fucking troll.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look, honestly, I think it's early to advertise much about the movie outside of what's already getting out from the set photos. So I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up playing Wonder Woman. I don't think that's something James Gunn would want to let out this early. But when they start marketing the movie, I'm pretty sure they would include that, because if you are introducing
You're not the
Wonder
only
Woman.
one.
By the way, the other thing I was gonna I don't know if I mentioned this before, like, because we talk about it with Batman a lot, that you wouldn't get a cameo for Batman and Clayface because they haven't gone through the casting process, they haven't created a suit, they don't know the look of the character, they haven't done all that. They don't even have a completed script for the Batman movie. The same applies to Wonder Woman. That makes it, I think, on the same grounds, not as likely. Now, you could say, that we got Supergirl in Superman, and then they changed up the costume a little bit, but like, the broad strokes costume is largely pretty similar. You can make the leap from one to the next, and James Gunn wanted a cameo, but that was because they had a Supergirl movie coming out the year after. So I don't know, unless, I mean, maybe we don't know about a Wonder Woman movie that has already been greenlit with the script that's already done, and which I guess we'll find out tomorrow on Fancast Friday. That would be one hell of a waste of an episode if they already got far enough that the script is greenlit and we're talking about a new writer. But yeah, I think it's more likely Maxima. So until we hear otherwise, because yes, there is potentially an option for her to be Wonder Woman if indeed James Gunn is trying to throw us off the scent, but I think it's more likely that she's Maxima, which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever they end up
I'm
casting
sure she'll
for
do an
Wonder Woman, I'm
amazing
sure they're gonna
job.
do a
Like,
great
no matter
job.
who
Yeah.
she's cast as, Adria Arjona is a
Yeah.
great actress. So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And the Wonder Woman script, as far as we know, isn't done. It's not even close to being done. So again, I don't think they would have gone through that process necessarily. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about a feat of clay, because we were talking about
okay,
Clayface.
sorry, I thought you were going somewhere else with that. I just
No,
that's-
FEAT.
Okay.
Not the other one, because then Quentin Tarantino would come crashing through and be like, "What y'all talking about?" Anyway, so Alyssa the reporter showed up, showing us how Tom Reese Harry's headed to DC's Jim Lee and Friends panel, and we got all things Clayface, more to come. So that's awesome. And then of course the director himself, James Watkins, as well. So hell yeah, bro. Looking awesome.
I mean, yeah, they put the trailer out. Was it yesterday? Yesterday, right?
Yesterday, yeah.
So they put a trailer out, and yeah, I mean, they were both at the. I don't think they had their own panel, so this was like kind of integrated into the Jim Lee panel, and they answered a few questions. They talked about the movie. We're gonna in a minute talk about the interview, because they did the press junket thing for the director. James Watkins did an interview with Deadline, and he had a lot of interesting things to say. So yeah, I mean, this movie looks fantastic right now. So yeah, cannot wait.
Yeah.
Can't
But
wait either.
obviously we have a little bit more. We got some merch. Got a little bit of merch, which is looking
Hey.
pretty cool. Warner Brothers AU new uniform just dropped. But yeah, this is awesome. I'm really liking this shirt. I just wish I will say the only thing I don't like about this is the fact it shows the title of the movie. Like, I just wish it was his face. And it's just that like horrific sort of thing. But like, I get it, because it's like, oh, what the fuck is that on your shirt? I get why they put it there, but like,
Yeah.
I think it would be even better if it didn't have it. So, but it still looks cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd get one. I want to wait for more merch to come out. See if there's more. I would love to get a Clayface shirt. So yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be more. This is probably just the beginning. This is only the beginning. So this looks like one of those, like, artwork for the movie turned into a t-shirt, like, you'd get from like a secondhand market thing rather than from the official DCshop.com. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Why not? I like the color and how it's blending into the color of the shirt. I wonder if they have other colors available. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see. But yeah, this was sort of more of a descriptor on James Watkins at that panel for Clayface.
No, he actually did like a whole interview. So after the panel, like, he did an interview with Deadline. If you scroll, there's a few questions. We can kind of skim across it. I think there's some interesting information that we got out of this. So you go past the first couple of paragraphs, which is just kind of introing the conversation. If you actually go past the photo, so he was asked, did DC approach you for Clayface, or did you approach them? And apparently DC went to James Watkins. They kind of brought the script to him, and they said it was with Mike Flanagan. He read it. He thought it was really interesting. But then he talks about, like, what was your pitch like? Because they were like, hey, did you kind of do the whole pitch, the vision reel, the slideshow? Or did you just go like, this is like my See No Evil, like, I'm going to bring James McAvoy back. This is my version of the film. And the way he talks about it is like, in a TLDR way, James Watkins kind of said the same thing that Peter Gillespie said about Supergirl, which was like, I have a vision. I want to
Craig
do it
Gillespie,
this way.
not Peter Gillespie.
Sorry, Craig Gillespie. What? My bad. I don't know where Peter just. I don't know who that is.
You
But
probably saw
anyway,
Peter Safran in there somewhere, and you just thought of that.
maybe that's it's sorry, I'm not feeling well. But anyway, the point is, yeah, it is trending on trailers on YouTube. It is still trending. I mean, Avengers Doomsday is still trending too, but and the Dune trailer is still trending. But anyway, so James Watkins kind of said something similar to what Craig Gillespie said, which is like, I had a vision, but I wanted to make sure that Peter Safran, James Gunn would go along with it. And apparently what he presented, had a lot of that body horror element to it, to the point where he said that, there was all sorts of really icky imagery, and James Gunn looked away at one point because he was so grossed out, but he was also like, yeah. And
Which is funny, because this is the guy who fucking made Slither,
I know.
which has a lot of body
yeah.
horror as well. That's saying
Yeah.
something, so,
So for all you horror fans, I mean, I think this is only a good thing. But then if you scroll down here, they talk about like, what were your inspirations? Did you watch the show, like, the Feet of Clay episode from the Batman animated series, or like, where did you pull your inspiration from? And he kind of said like it's a variation of like all of those things and an amalgamation of it all. So he took inspiration from comics, obviously the show, a lot of references, Basil Carlo, Matt Hagen, even though this particular one is Matt Hagen, but it kind of is inspired by the different versions. Almost like Moon Knight, which we got like multiple different versions of the character sort of amalgamated into what we got in Moon Knight.
yeah, exactly. Like, I will say,
Yeah.
like, it's like, oh, cosmic adventure, neo-western. Get the guy who did I, Tonya. But no, this is like horror movie. Let's get a guy who's done gruesome horror stuff like Eden Lake, Woman in Black, Speak No Evil. Bam, that's like the vibe. I know he's done a couple other things, but those are the ones that off the top of my head. So it fits. Like, you're getting a horror guy to do a horror movie instead of getting a guy who's done indie movies to do a big budget neo-western cosmic blockbuster. So I think that fits. That also really helps.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah, the resume
I'm
matches.
still like, God, they should have fucking gotten George Miller. They should have gotten George Miller for Supergirl. It would have been perfect. I know he has a terrible relationship with Warner Brothers right now, but like, goddamn, that would have been so much fucking better. Like, he literally did Furiosa. Shows he could do a female character, do a whole like journey kind of movie, and he was gonna do Justice League Mortal. So it's like, why didn't you fucking just use goddamn George Miller to direct Supergirl? Fuck. Anyway, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. But they've they
Dude,
talk
this
about
part
like,
you're gonna like. By the way, watch this. Do you want to read this paragraph? I think you're gonna love everything about this paragraph. Because
yeah.
it's talking about the
Although,
look of Gotham.
guys, fucking typo over here. That's not how you spell fucking Cronenberg. It doesn't have that first E. Idiots.
Right. But anyway,
But they're like, we've seen Gotham several times before. What did you want your Gotham to be? I wanted it to feel real. So we shot on the streets of Liverpool. When I look back at the films I really admire, like Cronenberg's The Fly, they take a guy who turns into a fly. It's impossible, but it creates a truth and believability and proudness to it immediately. I wanted that. When I look at Gotham, James Gunn, James Price, and Rob Hardy, I looked at a lot of street photography from New York in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. You realize the palette of it, not just the Kodachrome, but the life, the texture, the costumes, the colors, and the city has a certain sort of corruption to it. Rob doesn't use LEDs in the way that other people do. We wanted this kind of doomy, romantic look. He can shoot digital and make it look like analog. There's a lot of sodium, dirty orange light that diffuses and plays through the whole film and creates a rich atmosphere. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. So Rob Hardy, he kind of screwed the pooch with Supergirl, but hey, he's doing good with this. So
he's gonna make some cinema.
maybe that was a fucking Craig Gillespie point of contention.
It sounds
I don't know,
more and more so. It sounds like it was director driven, those decisions in Supergirl, but also Brian De Palma, John. I mean, it was intentionally inspired. There's moments in the trailer that we just saw yesterday that felt like a Brian De Palma movie.
I mean, we are what we eat. I love De Palma, but there is one moment which you will certainly note, which is very much De Palma and a reference to Carlito's Way. That's a film I definitely need to watch. We talked a lot about De Palma. Rob and I, the way he moves the camera is always motivated and economical. There's a brutality to it. We recently had The Substance, an award-winning body swap film, and Todd Phillips' R-rated Joker. When it comes to making an R-rated comic book movie and a body swap film, did you really feel that the bar was so high that
Such a
it's hard to
loaded
succeed?
question.
Did you
Like
feel
such a
pressure?
loaded, yeah.
He's like, those are both great films, but this is a different story in a very different universe. It creates its own atmosphere, it creates its own vibe. And the story of Matt Hagen is its own story. And I think it's a compelling one, and it takes people on a real roller coaster journey. It's going to give people a lot of ick and a lot of gore, but there's more of an emotional core that gives it a dimension. When you sit and watch this, when you feel the anima of an audience responding to the film, there's some comfort in that, I suppose. How many production days? 9 to 10 weeks. Are you done editing? Yes, fully done editing. And
Wow,
there's like still a
nice.
couple months to go. All right. How did
9 to
Tom
10
Rhys
weeks
Harris
is like
become
2.5
your
months. Yeah.
Clayface? What did you see in him? We saw so many people, and Lucy Bevan is a fantastic casting director, but Tom came in, and I didn't know his work at all, but he just really gave a really interesting read. I probably put him through about 4 more auditions, including a reading against people.
Wow.
There's something slightly
Okay.
Clayface about Tom's face. God, there's so many fucking typos, guys. Jesus Christ. Clayface is a shapeshifter, and I had this with James McAvoy, who is a master actor and could just shift with such a sort of microscopic gradation between being cheeky and devilish. And those sorts of shifts I felt within Tom, between being this kind
Awesome.
of urchin orphan quality of vulnerability that sometimes you can play, but also by a shift, a manic smile that can become slightly unnerving, and could do all of that
Okay,
within a
I
register of
follow.
keeping it real. He just felt like Matt Hagen, and when you sort of have that, it's very hard to get beyond it. That's really
Okay.
fucking cool, and I fucking love that
Yeah.
answer.
I love that he understands the nuances of what he needed from this performance, because he's gonna have to carry the movie on his back, and so Tom Rhys Harris better be the right fit. I mean, what, 5, 6 auditions, whatever.
There
to
is
put the
kind
man
of like
through?
I don't mean
Yeah.
for this to sound mean. Tom Rhys Harris, very good looking man, but I will say, especially in
Mm.
this clip, maybe it's probably on purpose, there's something uncanny valley about him. Like it doesn't look real, you know? Like it doesn't, like, I don't know, something about his face. It's like too perfect, but like also
You know
not
what
at
he
all.
is?
It just
Dude, it looks like Prince Charming from Shrek 2.
yeah, like a wider face, but
Right?
It's
It's
yeah,
right.
I
You know what I
can
mean?
definitely feel that.
That's what it is. That's what it is. But I mean, and I
Definitely.
think that kind of plays into what they're going for in the movie.
Yeah,
And you see,
100%.
like, when he's holding up the pair of scissors to like literally cut his eyelids that have melted.
Honestly, I do
in an
kind of wish he didn't
airplane.
use scissors. I hoped like he would get like a Swiss Army knife, because I feel like there's something like more
Ooh.
disturbing about cutting it with a knife, like
I'm
just
sure,
going
dude.
under and
But
just flicking it, like trying to get it. Like there's something kind of
I'm
dainty
sure
about the
there's
little
gonna be stuff like
scissors.
that.
But like
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen like kind of carving it out with a knife. That would
Yeah,
have been,
but
I
dude, I
think,
don't think you can
under.
take that onto a plane, right? That's part of the. There's gonna be
Um,
like the.
my
Yeah.
my dad took a cigar cutter onto a plane, so it's not totally out of the ordinary.
But you can't take like big scissors. I think that one is like it's not it's just small. You could have it in your
Yeah, I know,
accessories
but
bag.
like a
Like,
man
so
can
it's like
dream,
a.
you know.
By the way, I will say I traveled last year domestically. I didn't even go international, but like the TSA let me through with my backpack, which I did not know this. But I was like, I packed a pair of scissors. I thought I packed a pair of scissors in my, the thing that my big suitcase that I, didn't bring, that I brought into the plane, but not like as a carry-on. And then I got off the plane, and 2 days later, where I went, I was like, okay, I know I packed a pair of scissors somewhere. And then it's not in the big suitcase. And then I find, not just that, I found 2 pairs of my scissors in my backpack that TSA somehow missed and let me carry on into them. I'm like, what? Like, how did they let that happen? I made sure to like put that shit in the big suitcase on the way back, because I'm like, they're not gonna make that mistake twice. But anyway, yeah. But like, dude, him doing that in the turbulence, like try to cut that, like, that right there is like perfect for body horror, for any horror fans
Yeah.
who want to watch this movie.
Although it
Like,
was
that
funny,
scene
on
in
the
Clayface, it's gonna
same
hit.
flight, my sister brought these
Yeah.
giant knitting needles onto the
Mhm.
plane, and it was funny. Right when we were getting on, mine, I got like a random bag check, so they checked my bag, they checked my backpack, and the thing is, I forgot because I used my backpack for like volunteer work, like out in the sun, so I had I had a bottle of sunscreen in there, and I totally forgot it was in there.
It wasn't travel size, yeah.
And it was the full size, so like, what do you want? I'm like, just throw it out. But it's just like, it's so funny, like my dad and my sister literally bring fucking weapons on this plane, and it's like, sorry, can't bring the sunscreen on here because it might have a fucking bomb in it, like, God forbid. You know, it's just so fucking,
well, to be fair,
it's just bullshit security theater. Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
I guess it depends, right? Because it's like the idea is like, you can chemicals can become you can make explosives out of it, which would do
all right, like people brought phones onto planes and those fucking exploded. All right, so
that's true. Hey, that almost brought down a plane. Remember when those lithium, there's a famous it did bring down a plane. There's a famous plane crash that happened because they were transporting a whole pallet of lithium ion batteries that caught fire. So it has happened before. I think it was like a cargo flight maybe, so thankfully it wasn't like, I don't remember the sidebar. Let's get Clayface.
Oh,
looks
hey, surprise,
fantastic.
surprise.
Love
fucking Grace Randolph hates something good.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy.
Get him. He's got the sunscreen, and like, all of a sudden you're like, either you're either like, are we there yet? Or you're like Mr. Bean, you know, to tackle you in the airport, or like
no, nothing like that. Not yet, at least.
Yeah.
It just, that made me laugh. Because it was like, I mean, they were plastic, but like the thing is, you can like grab that knitting needle and like go for the jugular, and you could probably fucking get an artery with that shit. And it's just like, oh God, he's got the sunscreen. Get it away. Like, oh my God, get the fuck
Dude,
out
I just told you the story about how they somehow let me through with 2 pairs of scissors in my backpack that I didn't even know were in there. I was like,
it's like, that's,
I was like, what the fuck?
TSA is like, if you fucking remove like TSA, like nothing would happen, because TSA isn't the thing that keeps you safe. It pretends to keep you safe. You know, there's like all this shit, like CIA, FBI, they watch this shit so that this kind of shit doesn't happen again. There's more air marshals. Like, there's stuff like actually like to keep you safe. Not like Joe Schmo accidentally like brought a Swiss Army knife with him, so it's like he gets tackled at the fucking airport. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to lanterns, John, because I know you're excited about
gross.
this.
We go from peak to fucking lanterns. Gross. Anyway, but we were kind of showing it off earlier, but this is this is this was like a couple days ago where it was like the Green Lantern like experience or whatever the fuck, where it's like, training thing, which is like cool, I guess. I don't fucking know.
It looks like, I mean, actually like a whole tour thing.
Oh,
like
100%.
people,
yeah.
Have people
because he said, he tweeted, like, there are 3 universal truths. The earth revolves around the sun. Parents love their children. Grace Randolph spouts bullshit.
She does. Honestly, she does. And I'm glad James Gunn called it out, because I'm sure it, hurt her credibility, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Not that she had much
now he just needs to do the same thing to Jeff Snyder, and all will be right in the world.
I think he's kind of indirectly dissed him a few times already. Remember there was, what was it?
Well, there was the reason that like fucking Jeff Snyder hates DC so much is because he wasn't invited to a screening one time, and he's like had like a hate boner for them ever since. It's like, bro, come on. What are we doing here?
I remember James Gunn literally refuting a Jeff Snyder take just earlier this year, and then he came out and he was like, well, he didn't say who else it was. Like, it was like weird. James Gunn literally outright debunked something Jeff Snyder had said a day before. I remember talking about it. I forget exactly what it was, but anyway, let's keep going, because John, we do have a lot more to talk about with Lanterns at San Diego Comic-Con. They've got a panel hours from now, like tomorrow, so we'll be talking about it on tomorrow's show. This person here, by the way, went with one of the hosts of the DC Showcase podcast, the DC Studio Showcase podcast, and did the whole training experience to become a Lantern. And yeah, they take you through a few things, like you walk through a tunnel where people jump. It's like basically a haunted house kind of a situation, because they're like, are you afraid kind of a thing, which cool. I'm like, I could just go to a haunted house I feel like that would be a better experience. But hey, they're trying, right? It's interactive. It's and if you're at Comic-Con, I'm sure this
I'm
was one
loving
of the
these
more unique
gifts on the
things.
side.
Yeah. And yeah, okay, we'll get to the trailer bit in a moment, Harold, but yes, I'm excited to see what they put out tomorrow. But yeah, let's keep going, John. Let's keep going. Hey, look, there's a prop you could probably buy not too long from now, hopefully. Speaking of props,
Here's the ring.
you can buy the ring.
Well,
The
not
ring.
like the ring used in the show, but like a replica,
A replica
that
you
get.
can buy. John, you can get this. This you can add this to your collection.
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. You already have all the colors. I like
do.
the design
I
of the
mean,
ring,
hold
honestly.
on, I gotta-
I'm okay with it.
Hang on. This is what I mount my camera on because I don't have anything else that's high enough, so I have to use my Green Lantern. So every day I use my Green Lantern box for DCU Daily, so
Hey, you know what? The
works.
lantern's doing the work. Yeah, I don't know how much this is getting sold for, but
I
I'm sure
want
we'll find out soon
Tom
enough.
King I want to ring Tom King's neck, but I don't want the Tom King ring.
I like the ring design. I know you're not a big fan. I like the ring design, personally, but
Oh,
that's not the only thing.
Not a ring of fire. Anyway,
That's not the only thing.
they're
we
all
gotta
the
talk
green
about.
in the
There's-
trailer. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just gonna put
Yeah.
like a green filter over it just to like be like, hey, look, it's all green now.
Take all the green from my Canada Dry, please. Lots of green here. A little bit of red. Yeah, let's keep going, John. We gotta talk about the Funko Pops. The merchandise
God.
train is.
When is this company
rolling out
gonna
to
go
the
fucking
station.
bankrupt? Because I swear to God, I just want this shit. God, I just want them to fucking end.
Wait, go down, because this does confirm that it is indeed Sinestro in that space prison. That Kyle
I
and
will say the
Chandler's
Sinestro
Hal Jordan
look
gets to visit.
isn't too bad, but I will say if that's what his eyebrows look like, it's like bro needs to shave. It reminds me of Walter White's boss at the
eyebrows.
car wash. It reminds me of that guy with the fucking giant caterpillar eyebrows.
Wild.
Wild.
Well,
but
you
yeah,
know what?
I will.
I'm
I
looking
mean,
forward to
like they
seeing
look. It's a shame. It's like,
Already.
Hal gets a fucking
Yeah.
suit, but not Jon Stewart. It's like, oh damn, all right.
But it does confirm, John, that Hal Jordan wears the mask, which we didn't see him doing in that scene in the previous trailer, but I can't wait to see him with the mask on. So it does confirm that Hal's got the mask.
We get sunglasses. We did get sunglasses. Where he looks like fucking Bono.
We will talk about that in a minute. Yeah, we do have that. So all right, let's keep
looking eyebrows. But yeah, good. Yeah, Funkos look good, but bro needs to shave his eyebrows. I swear to God. But this is your boy James Gunn being like, "Hey, we're getting a trailer tomorrow." Very nice.
Yep, he made an announcement. I didn't bring that video down because I'm like, it's we don't.
Got
He
a
basically
green
says, guys,
tornado over
tomorrow is the world premiere
today
of
now
the
for people
official
on the East Coast.
today. Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
hours
lots of
after the
trailers.
show is
One
done.
trailer after another. Definitely better than one battle after another. Am I right? I just wear. We're both wearing green. I just noticed that.
That's true. You know what?
I didn't even do
my-
that. I did. I just grabbed it. There's more green on this panel than in the trailer, the initial trailer.
Also, my jacket kind of matches the look of both characters, at least in the 2016 timeline of the show.
Yeah, you do kind of look like it. That house, a little bit more color, but yeah. But the site also revealed that Lantern's 2016 timeline follows Hal and John 2 months into the latter's training, suggesting almost everything we've seen in the trailers is from that period. The 2026 timeline will revolve around undisclosed events that the team is saving for a later reveal, aka Hal Jordan gets fucking killed because some loser on Reddit fucking leaked it. But sure. It's also been confirmed that
it doesn't tell you what happens in the 2026 timeline because it doesn't tell you what's going on there, right? So that's still secret. So
it's also been confirmed that in the DCU, Hal is a former test pilot, Guy Gardner was a gym teacher, and Jon Stewart comes from a military family, which is in line with the comics. So that makes sense. Aaron Pierre was talking about this. The first places that I dived into were the parts of him that are arguably not directly related to his superhero-ness. Who was the boy who turned into the adolescent, who turned into the young man, and then the more mature man that we get to know later in the series. Kyle Chandler, meanwhile, focused more on Hal's relationship with his former mentor, Sinestro. The villain was expelled from the Green Lantern Corps after attempting a coup, and the Guardians of the Universe are concerned about what Hal may or may not have inherited from Sinestro. According to the actor, it was really interesting because you're getting into all kinds of different weeds of what goes on in their relationship in the past, a lot of which for myself is very personal. I created little things for myself with him that created a relationship that was very intimate and intense. Now kiss. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, like, it shows, at least at the very least, you know, Aaron and Kyle understand their characters probably more than Tom King ever will. But that's pretty cool.
But John, we did get like the teaser to the trailer, so we do have a little bit of footage. We do have some. I think we have a couple of stills from it. So there's the glasses, which I hope that's not like I hope that's just, I don't know what that is. Maybe I don't know. Literally, I hope that's not the mask. I hope that's just whatever reason he's wearing.
No, that's definitely not the mask. I mean, clearly, like the Funko Pop, if that's reflective of what he's shown here,
Right, Harold.
then it's going to be an actual Domino mask, not these Bono blind guy sunglasses. But here we have the ring going up against the actual lantern, getting charged.
Yep.
We got goatee John Stewart. This is probably him during his service in the military.
Right.
Got an explosion. Got we see
The
a
chase
construct
sequence, yeah.
that is that's definitely a construct right there. That looks like a bird or something.
Yep.
And then we have
We already
John
went past the
Stewart
quick hits, but sure, yeah.
fighting something. Him and that fucking ugly those ugly ass sunglasses. We see,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, the
some kind of like
Ray-Bans.
tornado, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
I think it's somebody with an explosive that he tornadoes into the sky so it doesn't
Yeah.
kill people, and the explosion happens in the sky. Yeah. Again, we get to see
This
the constructs
show
finally.
has
There's-
got me,
green in
Stevie,
it.
wondering how bad will it be.
Dude, okay. Yeah, the earlier trailer. I mean, yes, I think that they're trying to make the point that, you know, Hal is the past and, you know, John is the future. So, yeah, cool. Those are stunna shade, John. You wouldn't understand. Okay, just kidding. Eric, just kidding. Anyway, so they did this whole exclusive, Abbott and Costello in the Entertainment Weekly. Aaron's got this great way of giving me this look like he wanted to break my neck, said Kyle Chandler. I mean, Aaron Pierre definitely has that look. If you have seen his work.
He definitely
What was
has
that movie on
resting bitch
Netflix?
face.
He definitely has that RBF down. Like, look at this right here. That's I'm gonna break your neck look. It's right there, John. There's the shot. And then, you know, you see this and you're like, Captain Green Lantern, like, you know, like from okay, John. I was just gonna say from the Avengers. movie
Zack
at the
Snyder
beginning,
needs
but-
more baby oil.
Boner.
Yeah.
Yes, if
Not
Liz
enough
was here-
baby oil. Zack Snyder.
Yeah. I'm like, the 2016 stuff of this show definitely feels like it's of its time. I think they got the aesthetics down. Dude, Aaron Pierre looks so fucking huge. I'm like, I can't wait to see him standing next to Superman. And I'm like, John Stewart's gonna look like a killer. And then now you gotta cast a huge Batman, you know? Yeah. Yeah, great stuff. I mean, you guys should definitely read the Entertainment Weekly article. Again, they talk about how the two actors sort of prepare for the role. In fact, we actually have a quote from Aaron Pierre talking about how
Well,
he
this
prepped
was like
to play the part.
Um,
This is from
you
the
know, what
article
was
from
already
Entertainment
said.
Weekly.
So, yeah, but this was isolated. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's again talking about the man is hitting the gym, and I don't know if he's done. I think There was somebody had posted a story that Aaron Pierre had posted. I think it might have been fake because the thing got taken down later. That Aaron Pierre might have rapped on Man of Tomorrow, but I'm not sure if because he kind of made a vague reference that see you later Atlanta. It was nice, and because they're filming in Atlanta, so you maybe he was doing that, but it's very possible he could have been shooting another project too, or that story was made up, like the Instagram story that was posted. So, but yeah, Aaron Pierre is definitely going to be in Man of Tomorrow, and of course this year we'll see how well the Lantern show goes. It looks like we'll find out tomorrow whether season 2 is farther along than we realize. And John, your thoughts on what you'd like to see on the trailer for Lanterns tomorrow?
Something that will make me confident that this will be a good show, which I don't think it will. So,
look, I want to see several things. I want to see more of what the story. I'm not saying give me spoilery details, but I feel like so far, like James Gunn said, we have gotten a couple of teases. Then you got a teaser trailer. So the first official trailer, which we're getting in hours from now, thank you, Georgie. That's meant to be the trailer that gives you more of the story of the show. So I want to know more about what's going on in 2016, 2026. Again, it's a murder mystery, so don't give me the the spoilery details. But like, I'd like to see the parents of Jon Stewart. Like, they cast him in like 2 different ages because they're gonna go way back in the past. So I wonder how that's gonna tie into the present day story or the 2016 story with him, being mentored by Hal Jordan, and then how that plays out in 2026. I would like to see maybe more of why and how Guy Gardner is involved, because certainly in the 2016 timeline, Hal Jordan hasn't met any of the aliens. We know there's no alien lanterns in the show. The showrunners and the directors of the first 3 episodes have said that. Like, was it James who directed those first 3 episodes? He did some Peacemaker episodes too. He specifically said there's no alien lanterns in season 1, but I'd like to see if they make more references to those, like, and the greater events in 2026 of the world of the DCU, because now Superman is around, and like it feels like whatever has happened between those 10 years, maybe I'm speculating Jon Stewart may have gone missing in action. Remember, he gets like plugged in with the alien gun with like whatever juice they put into his head that turns his eyes orange. I'm like, is it possible that like Aaron Pierre's character, like Jon Stewart's kind of not a man out of time, but like he's sort of been out of the loop for a little while because of how things played out with Hal Jordan. It's also going to be interesting to see now how they connect the dots with Sinestro. Like, is he still gonna be around in 2026, and he was in prison and he stays in prison? Like, how's that all play out? So yeah, like, the show is coming in 3 weeks, like MPG is saying. Like, I want to see the scope and the scale. I want to see more constructs. I want to see more of the locations. John, I believe we have not seen a single shot of the Purna Jagannathan character, who's meant to be like the love interest was it Aaron Pierre, like, character? Isn't she Jon Stewart's sort of love interest? We haven't seen any of her. We haven't really seen any of his parent character, actors or characters. So, like, I know they're doing this on a big scale. The show is gonna have scale because it's an HBO show. It's got a budget for it, but like, they have kept a lot of the show hidden from us in ways that I think when you put the pieces together of who's involved with the show and where the story might be headed, like, I want to know more. And John, like, what do you expect from the panel? Because they do have a Hall H panel tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow evening. So they're doing a trailer launch. Do you expect all the leads to show up? Like, do you expect both of these guys to be there at the panel tomorrow in Hall H?
That's a great question. I would hope so. I mean, I think that would help give it some, like, zhuzh, like, the 2 stars coming in doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I feel like that's good. Like, I feel like you should have that. At the very least, one of them. I think Kyle Chandler would be more important because, or more likely because maybe your boy Aaron might be still doing some
That's right.
filming
could
stuff
be.
for Man of Tomorrow. So I like, plus even if he isn't, it would be cool to be like, hey, Aaron Pierre can't join us today because he's off helping Superman in
And he
Man of Tomorrow.
does like
Like
a
something like
video.
that. Like, oh,
Right.
like to kind of pump it up. Oh, like, oh, he's gonna be in Man of Tomorrow. Oh my god. So that would be cool to have. But like, I would say
Right.
either, but Kyle Chandler should be there, at least, unless he has like scheduling conflicts with something
Yeah.
else he's filming.
I know you want to
but
see Tom King and Damon Lindelof there. Like I can't.
yes,
wait
and
for
then I
those
will
guys.
grab my sniper.
John, you're on the internet. Like the government's listening. The walls have ears.
My lawyers are telling me I have to say that is a joke.
Okay. It also doesn't represent the opinion of the show. Anyway,
I'm not.
whatever that
I don't.
disclaimer
Okay,
is.
I don't hate someone that much. It's some douchebag who makes bad comics. I don't fucking hate him that much. Calm down, guys.
All
Would
right.
actually.
Well, look.
I'm too much of a pussy to kill a man. Come on now.
Well, there you go.
Do I look like Jack Reacher to you? Come on.
No. There's a big difference there. Liz would be the first to tell you. Which there's a whole thing going on behind the scenes with Liz and John. Opinions on Alan Richardson differ quite greatly.
I mean, I like Alan
John, don't
Richardson. I
listen to
think
the voices
he's. I
here.
think he's. He's good at what he does, but it's just like, I don't think he's like the greatest thing since sliced fucking bread. Like, come on now.
Yeah. I don't know if Tom King is James Gunn's favorite comic book writer. I think he's got probably too much depth in his knowledge of comic books in general for Tom King to be the guy for him. Clearly, like you look at all the inspirations he pulled for Superman, none of that was Tom King. So not that it would be, but like, I can't wait to see Guy Gardner in the show. Remember Nathan Fillion said that he swore more in this show than he has done in anything he's ever done before. So I would like to see maybe a little bit of that, because it is a TVMA show. So like give us some of that, profane language in the trailer tomorrow. 3 weeks. Get your rings ready, boys and girls. The core needs you. Yeah. Guy's your guy, Caleb. I know he's a lot of guys guy. We already got him once. Yeah, so I mean, you know what would be unexpected if we got like a Checkmate cameo, like one of the 11th Street kids, like, or the gang, whatever.
I don't know why the fuck they would be there, but sure.
I'm just saying it's all in the same universe. You want to show like the expansive, like, remember, nobody thought until that Peacemaker trailer came out that we were gonna get a cameo from 2 Justice Gang characters in Peacemaker, right? Not to mention White Rabbit, but like we're getting White Rabbit back in Man of Tomorrow. I would be interested in seeing some of those other larger connections. But the biggest thing I want to see tomorrow from the panel, the trailer I already talked about. The panel, the biggest thing I want to see is they need to bring out that guy who signed up for season 2. I want them to kind of tell us, like, HBO just gave us the green light for season 2. It's official. We are here and we're going to be back with the season 2, because it will give fans another reason to invest in the show, especially if you get a green light now. It shows that they're really confident. This is great. HBO loves what they have. And it means that they're likely going to give us a season 2, like not 3 years later, but like maybe a year or 2 later. So that's the big thing I would like to. Again, it's a wish list item. I don't know if they're going to do that, but I wouldn't be surprised if James Gunn sends in a video message like he did that little video today, probably from this, one of the sound stages where he's filming Man of Tomorrow. And if Aaron Pierre is not there, then I hope that he sends in a video message too. So I'm looking forward to it, John. I don't know about you, but I feel like this show could be good. I think it could be good.
We'll see.
No, they do apparently have a different showrunner for season 2. So like all the producers from season 1
I
will
think
stick
he's
around.
joining Chris Mundy.
Yeah.
As
okay, so maybe co-show running. Okay. Well, but like still, like that means you got a new voice, and then he's done better works in your opinion.
Yeah, he's actually done real comics and actually good comics.
Yeah. But the fact they have brought in somebody like that, and that means that they are at least thinking about if they aren't already way farther along than maybe we realized for a season 2, which is good. Because like the Penguin, like we may never get a season 2. So I'm glad that with Lanterns, we know there's a vision to make this a multi-season story. You can still have, and obviously you can still bring the Lanterns into the movies like we're going to see next year with Jon Stewart and Man of Tomorrow. But I'm glad that the Lanterns will have a presence on HBO, which let's see how it turns out. The trailer will be very telling. Yes, and speaking of late stream, we're just coming to the end of the show. Anything else you want to add to that, John?
Beware My Power? Green Lantern's Light?
Sure.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
On that note, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna do a double header. It looks
Well,
like Wonder Woman.
not
Rider,
tomorrow, but like later
today. Later today. On Friday. Fancast Friday. It looks like the new DCU Wonder Woman writer is taking a substantial lead over new RoboCop. Sorry, Caleb, but that's you guys voted for it.
Yep.
I mean, it was tied last week, so I guess it's only fair. So
yeah. But
all
anyway.
right, so tomorrow we'll be okay. Just to confirm, we're not going to be live right after the panel. We're going to be live in the evening like we normally are. We'll probably start a lot sooner, like than we did today, which was like at midnight. But and Hunter Iggy, what if James Gunn breaks his number? Will bring dead character Hal Jordan to young Glenn. Blah, blah, blah. No, that's not happening. I'm sorry, but Glenn Powell's not going to Why would you? No, I don't think Hunter Iggy that's going to happen. But thanks for the question. But yes, this Friday we'll be live in the evening with DCU Daily and Fancast Friday at the normal time, probably like 9 p.m. Eastern time. Think of it that way. And then Saturday, whenever the Marvel Hall H wraps up, we'll plan to be live after that. So, but yeah, there you go. So if you are wondering, then check us out tomorrow, same time, same Also Curious place, same DCU Daily. Are you afraid? I guess that's the question, John. Are you afraid? Did you see the tit? Did you see the tat?
No, and unfortunately for Jalen, he didn't see Millie's tits. So, what are you going to do? Stay #blessed, ladies and gentlemen.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all on the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka hunka!
And remember, fuck Tom King, Jeff Snyder, and David Ellis.